Yo, yo. Yes, yes. Good morning, Raidernation. What is good with everybody, man? Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, I'm about 40 seconds late. My apologies, y'all. Hey, shout out to Out the House. This is facts, bro. I literally just woke up. Like, literally, bro. Like, I ran out the house to come back over here, man, because I had to get this right. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Sean Glover, or wait, I'm sorry, Sean Grover, Out the House, Top Beats, Jesse, man, Scott Black. Yes. Hey, I finally got a good night's sleep with my back, you guys. My apologies, man. I was knocked the hell out last night. My dog slept right next to me. She was done. She didn't even wake me up. So I had to let her out right now, feed her, and do all that other shit. So that's why I was a few seconds late. My apologies, man. But what is good, everybody, man? Shout out to everybody in the building. Welcome to another installment of Coffee and Convo, one of my favorite segments. Get to wake up and talk nothing but Raider shit first thing in the morning. Shout out to y'all, man. This is your guys' show. Moving forward, I'm going to do something different. So I know today it says just Coffee and Convo, but what I'm going to do from now on, if it's okay with you guys, it's still going to say Coffee and Convo, but I'm going to put three subjects in the description box that we can talk about. It's also going to relate to the thumbnail as well. Today is just a Coffee and Convo. I want you guys to start the conversation. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we will talk about. I was going to do a show last week about Mike Mayock. Okay. That's what I was going to do, but I ended up hurting my back. Didn't do it. But if you guys want to, we can do it today. We can definitely do it today. I want to break down his draft picks. Basically break down his tenor, because we all know now, right? We seen in the news yesterday, Mark Davis is going to wait until the end of the season to approach the coaching staff and the GM situation, right? We're not going to talk. He's not going to talk about who's coming in to replace Richie B, who is going to potentially replace Mike Mayock. He believes that there is a playoff run, and he's going to hold off until then, which I get. I totally understand. And they're also saying that the head coaching position is a hot commodity within the NFL world. That is a good thing to hear, because it sounds as though some guys actually want to come over and head coach our team. When's the last time you could say that? It's been forever. It's been a long time since we could say somebody actually wanted to come over and be the head coach of our franchise. So I like that. So you guys want to break down the Mike Mayock? Bro said Mike Mayock is out of here. Mayock's out of here, but I keep him. Okay. All right. Let me tweet this out real quick, y'all. My apologies. Let me tweet this out real quick. Like I said, I just woke up. I'm drinking me a can of coffee. I didn't even have time to make me some coffee. So I'm going to drink me a can of coffee, and we're going to get this lit. But let me share this out real quick, you guys.
My name is Charity, and I'm the owner of...
Shout out to everybody in the building, you guys. All right, let me share this. Everybody, wipe them feet, man. Hit them thumbs up. Hit them thumbs up. Gray says, bring in Mike Vrabel. I'm good, man. I don't want to do that. Greg, I don't know why, man. It's something about that coaching tree. Everybody under Bill Belichick. It's like Bill is the only one that works, right? Everybody else that tries to get a head coaching position just doesn't work. Bill O'Brien, Josh, whatever the hell his name is, offensive coordinator. Bruh, I just like none of these guys work. None of these guys pan out. And then they end up going right back to New England to be a coordinator. It's crazy. So I don't want anybody from that tree. I want somebody fresh, you guys. I want somebody fresh. Josh McDaniels. That's what I was thinking about. I want somebody fresh. I want somebody fresh, a young mind. Hold on, my apologies, you guys. All right, we're good. Everything's tweeted out. We're good to go. You packed Matricia as well. Shout out to Knock Andrew. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you because that was another name that I had in my head. Charlie Weiss, as a Notre Dame fan, and yeah. I know, Brian. I know. Good morning, everybody. Shout out to you guys, man. Yes, Byron Leftwich, technically because he's under the Brady. But he's not technically a New England guy, right? Byron Leftwich is my number one option. That's my number one option to bring in as the head coach this offseason. Period, point blank. That's my guy. I know a lot of people are saying Kellen Moore. I would love Kellen Moore. He's my second option. Kellen Moore will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you guys now, he has been promised that position. I'm telling you, Matt McCarthy is not the guy. He's not been the guy for a long time. The dude's terrible at clock management, timeouts, just everything. You know what I mean? Like, I think Kellen Moore is going to be the guy that's going to take over the Dallas, the Dallas situation, Dallas head coach. Chris says, Sean Payton, I think he'll be a Saint for life. I think all they need to do is get another head coach. Another head coach, another quarterback, and I think that they'll be okay. They have that kind of scenario that New England has, right? They have that system lined up that whenever they bring somebody in, a capable starting quarterback, New Orleans is always okay. They're always all right. The defense is always tough. They always bring a great O-line. They need some receivers as well. But, Michael Thomas is out for the season. You know what I mean? But if they go get a capable – if Jameson Winston comes back next year and he's cool, they're going to be all right. Mike Tomlin, look, if somehow, some way Pittsburgh wants to move on, that's another name you have to keep an eye on. If Pittsburgh wants to move on. Tomlin has done nothing but win for that franchise. I think they'd be dumb as hell to move on from him. But I can see it happening. I can see it happening. Look, Ben Roethlisberger is at the end of his ropes. It's about to be a wrap. I think this is his last season. They're going to have to go probably draft a quarterback. I don't think Tomlin's going to want to sit around. Raid, I did, my brother. I checked it. Raid, I said, I got you, brother. I already checked it. Check your DM. Check your DM. Brian DeBall is my main candidate, but who in the heck will replace our GM? I would be happy with Tomlin. But we know Tomlin's not going to be a GM. We'd have to look and see. I don't know. Who would you guys want to see if Mike Mayock gets replaced? I want to see Mayock with at least a year without Gruden. I do. I think Mayock deserves a year without Gruden. But the problem is this. This is what sucks, right? If we bring back Mayock for a year, we go get a whole new head coaching staff. We go get all these new guys, a defensive coordinator, blah, blah, blah. We get a whole new coaching staff. Then Mike Mayock gets fired. Then we have to bring in another GM that doesn't have the coaching staff that they want. So it sucks. That's why I think that Mike Mayock is going to walk at the end of the season, because you don't go get a whole new coaching staff, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, so on and so forth, just to have Mayock come back for 1 year. It doesn't work with him. And then you have a whole coaching staff and you have to go replace him again. So this is going to be some tough decisions, man. This is going to be some real tough decisions. I want to break down, you guys, Mike Mayock's draft picks, if y'all don't mind. I want to talk about that, because if you think about it, it's kind of split down the middle. Bro, I don't know how this is happening. That's crazy. Shout out to my brother Samoan Raider. Real quick, y'all, my apologies. I quit the fantasy league. I was winning too, you guys. I was doing really good. I just had a lot going on. Samoan hit me up and says, bro, since you quit, you haven't lost. I beat Raided Tape last week. I beat Samoan Raider 113-91. I can't make this shit up. I can't make this shit up. I can't make this shit up. Holy shit. Everybody keep hitting me up like, bruh, what the fuck? I really beat Raided Tape and Samoan back to back, bro. I am 8-4, and I think I'm number one. Am I number one? That is hilarious. I just hit him back like, bro, put me back in there, bro. Put me back in there, bro. All right, let's break this down. Let's break this down. Let's break this down. All right, I want to bring up the draft, his draft picks, you guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's break this down because I want to see if we really need to move on. Okay. I know that Gruden's handprints may be over a lot of these guys, and we're going to break that down. We're going to break down if you guys think that was a Gruden pick or if you think that was a Mayock pick. So let's do this. Every Mike Mayock draft pick. All right, let's do it. All right, we're going to do first round first, okay? This is where I feel like everybody has a right to say Mike Mayock needs to move on, okay? This is where I feel like every single person in the chat that says Mike Mayock has to go, he has been a terrible drafting in the first round. I look, you guys, I have to agree with you guys because we'll start with Cleveland Furrow, okay? Cleveland Furrow, good football player. Top Beats, I don't agree with that, bro. I think that this was all around a Mike Mayock pick. I do. What's up, my brother?
Yo. What's good with it? Good morning.
What's
good
going
morning.
on with you, man?
Good morning, everybody in the chat. Good morning, everybody.
Everybody, man, shout out our brother Raided Tape. And you guys already know the drill. If you guys have not subscribed to our brother yet, make sure you go subscribe to our brother Raided Tape. We're breaking down the whole draft pick scenario with Mike Mayock. I kind of want to see where it is because I know a lot of people are saying let's bring him back a year. Let's not. The thing with this Raid, I was just saying, I don't know if you heard it. You can't just bring him back a year, right? Because if we go get a whole new coaching staff, then we're having to replace the GM again and maybe have to potentially replace a whole coaching staff again. So you're either running with Mike Mayock or you're not at this point, right?
Yeah, I agree. I was tuned in. I was tuned in before I hopped on, and I agree, man. I feel like if you keep him for another year, it's kind of tough because of exactly what you said. You bring in all these new guys, and then if you only keep them for a year, then it's kind of like a waste of a year and a waste of a lot of movement.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do keep Mayock, then you for sure keep him around longer than a year. That's just my thought. If you do keep him, right? You got to give him more than a year. You got to give him, like, if he gets his staff, you got to give him 2 to 3 years. But if you don't want him, you definitely got to move on right now.
Let me ask you this hypothetical and your gut feeling. What would you do? Listen, we know this. The coaching staff is probably going to be replaced. I mean, it is what it is. What is your gut feeling about Mike Mayock? What would you do? And what, just point blank period. What is your thoughts on him?
I would definitely want to move on. I feel like there's a lot of options right now.
Okay,
not right now, but like going into the offseason. I feel like there'd be a lot of options, and we've talked about it. You know what I mean? You got the OC from KC, Dallas, Tampa. People talking about Joe Brady from the Panthers. There's a lot of options. So I'm like, if you don't take this opportunity now, how will it look the following season?
Yep,
Who knows? But I think the time would be now. Might as well. Gruden's gone. That was the main guy. You cut the head off the snake. So
yeah.
But maybe that's what the NFL wants, for us to just clean house again and go for somebody else. But who knows? I don't want to get to speculation. But what were you saying? You did want to keep him for one more year, or are you just thinking?
I just in a perfect world, right? Because I don't think like I said, that can't happen. You can't just bring him back one more year and go to a whole new coaching staff because you're potentially going to have to replace all of them again. Because a great GM is going to want his personnel. It just is what it is. But I feel like Mike Mayock may deserve an extra year with just him, just because without Gruden's handprints all over everything, I definitely think he should at least get an offseason, with just him, because we're going to go over these draft picks. And I feel like a lot of these guys, and I want you to tell me too, I know we did this, something like this in the past where we kind of said, who do you think was this draft pick, right?
No.
But I know there's a lot of new viewers, and I want to go deeper. I don't want to just do round one. I want to do round by round. We're not going to talk about every single person because it's just a lot. But we'll just talk about impact players or people that were supposed to be impact players.
Right.
Like, okay, well, we'll start like I said, we'll start with Clee. Me personally, I thought that this had Mike Mayock written all over it. It was the first round draft pick. Clemson, he's a former scout. You know what I mean? I felt like this was maybe Gruden believing in him, saying, okay, you want him over the Kentucky boy? You know what I'm saying? You want him over oh my God, bro. I don't even want to go about the linebacking cores or all these other guys that we could have got scenarios. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that was a Mayock pick. Like, how would you go about that one? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think it was starting to show once he came around. We started showing a trend almost, and that trend was Clemson and Alabama.
Yeah,
and so
perfect.
As we're sitting here talking about it, I just realized that. So I think for sure it was an influence of Mike. Maybe it wasn't 100%, but it definitely had an influence because we started showing definitely a trend, bro. Like there's no denying it. We started getting Clemson player after Clemson player after Clemson player. We got 3 Clemson players that year alone.
Yep.
The year before we didn't get 1 Clemson player.
Oh, we were going to small schools. We were doing different things, trying to, but then we started going to these heavy schools, Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson continuously. And it was like, okay, I think that Mike Mayock is out here trying to nitpick all the nation's best talent and hoping that they translate to the next level. So we agree on that one. Okay, Damon Arnett, I think we can all both agree on this because Mike Mayock already came out and said that this was him. This was a pickup that he was telling everybody within the organization, look, I know there's some baggage with this kid, but I believe he can be a number 1 corner in this league. He already came out. There was a whole presser about this, you guys. So I know some people may say it was a Gruden pick, but Mike Mayock already took full accountability for this one. So I think this one's pretty easy. So there's two back-to-back that I think we both would agree on would be Mike Mayock guys. Henry Ruggs, I think this is a Gruden guy. I think this is clear, right? This might be
this one right here. I feel like Gruden had to walk Mike Mayock down damn near like no one picking him up. You know what I mean? Because I did hear that Mayock wanted Lamb.
Yes.
So I feel like on this one, it was definitely Gruden. The speed kind of gives it away. The mystique of the Raiders, that speed, try to bring back that thought process of Al Davis. Not that, and also Ruggs was still a good receiver. He just happened to be the fastest, right? He just wasn't the most polished, like a Lamb or something. So I think Gruden definitely walked Mayock down on this pick and was like, "Nah, we're taking Ruggs." Just the fact that it was a wide receiver, though, I think Mayock was like, "Yeah, that's good. It's all right."
Like at least we're addressing a position of need.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think right here, this is clear cut that this was for sure Gruden. This was tales of the old Raiders. This is the Al Davis way. I think Gruden was like, "Let's go get somebody quick, a burner. We want our own Tyreek Hill." Clear cut. And mind you, guys, real quick, I'll get these in real fast. Shout out to Abel. Do you think the Raiders need better draft picks or trades at this point in time? Picks are hit or miss. Nobody knows how they pan out. I think we need to do better at both, especially draft. I mean, look, drafting. Great teams win Super Bowls because of how they draft.
Yeah.
You know, Seattle won that Super Bowl because they put it together, a stout defense.
Yeah.
Nobody was on big contracts. They had a great quarterback in Russell Wilson under a rookie contract. And this is how it goes constantly. Great teams, if you draft well, you win Super Bowls because you're not overpaying everybody. So, and then trading wise, right? I mean, I'm not even gonna say trading. I'll say free agency. We need to pick up better people. We don't really make a lot of trades. I mean, when we do,
Exactly.
we get burned as well. Pittsburgh,
it's
burned
we
by
always
them.
do. We always do some rinky-dink trades. I remember we traded for Zay Jones for some BS. This year we traded for Perriman, which I'm not hating on Perriman. It's a good. It turned out great, right? But it still was like a 6th round pick. It wasn't like, oh, we sent 2 first-round picks for the biggest player ever since sliced bread. So
you weren't moving mountains with that. You weren't. We were okay with that because we all knew we needed a linebacker.
Yeah, we needed it.
Yeah, and we knew that that was Gus's guy. So, and look how it panned out. So, thank God that was one of the trades that actually worked out in our favor. Okay, so those 3 names, you guys, right there. I basically, let's just be honest, pretty much 3 busts. Klee is a really good football player. He just hasn't been great to the point where he's matched that potential where he was drafted. In which I think a lot of us thought that was going to happen anyway because Klee shouldn't have been there in the first place. But those are 3 guys already that have not worked out in the first round. Then we have another guy, and I know a lot of guys will be on the fence with this one. Jonathan Abram, Mississippi State, I believe.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I think this can go kind of both ways. You know, he's an old school thumper, that Raider way, that old school guy that fits that mold of that old, that old school safety, hard hitter, tough guy, takes no bullshit. What would you assume was going on in that draft room at that point?
This is a tough one. This is probably the toughest one. I don't know, man. Maybe I'd probably lean towards maybe Gruden because he's hitting, because of the way he was playing. I'd have to say Gruden. He probably fell in love with the way he was playing. But at the same time, it's kind of hard because it's like, who's showing Gruden this tape?
Yeah.
Who's pulling up saying like, yo, look at this tape? Because I feel like Gruden, he's going to look at film of the players, but at the same time, does he have the time to actually do all that and be the coach? I don't know. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough, but I'll say Gruden. I'll say Gruden is the one that said, yeah, let's pull the trigger on that guy.
I think you hit it on the head with that one situation where that's why it could be both ways. Gruden was everything with the Raiders. He ran everything. So I don't know how you would have any kind of time to go find a guy from Mississippi State, watch his film. Mayock maybe had to have brought that guy to him, but I'm going to agree with you. I think I still, somehow, some way, if anybody can do it, it's Gruden. I think that this was a Gruden pick. I think, he, like you said, he matches the old school Raider way. This is such a Raider pick. And Gruden matches that mystique. I think this is a John Gruden pick. What do you guys think, everybody in the comment section? I think that maybe Mayock had his hands in this, but I think that Gruden signed off on it, and Gruden said, you know what, that he fits the mold of what a Raider needs to be. So I think this is like a 60-40 scenario. You know what I mean? But either way, I think Gruden had the upper hand in it. Shout out to Edward, man. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to the Mokes as well. I feel when it comes into the first round, Mayock caters to the coaches. When we got Klee, Gunther was still our DC. Alex was Cable's guy, and Ruggs was Gruden's guy. Look what he does after first round. And we're going to get there, DeMokes. Shout out to you, my brother. I thank you for that super and facts. You spoke nothing but facts, my brother. Let me get one more in before we continue this. Shout out to my brother, Big Shane. Sometimes it seems like our draft war room is a darkened room where they conduct a seance to challenge Al and choose their picks. That was fire. Facts, facts, brother. All right, let's go. Stupid. Shout out.
Damn near.
Yeah, real shit. Real talk, bro. That's funny as shit. All right, you guys. Another one. Josh Jacobs. I know a lot of us are very divided. This is kind of Derek Carr-ish in the nation because a lot of us are like, damn, we want you to be the star because we believe you can, because Josh is one of my top 3 favorite Raiders. We know what he can do, but can he do it on a consistent basis? And can he stay healthy, right? What do you think thus far about Josh Jacobs, brother? I mean, look, this is the best running back we've had in a long time. And I think this is another one of those situations. And we're not going to do the whole DC thing because, we're not going to go that route. But all I'm going to say is this. Derek Carr has been our best quarterback we've had in 20 years. Easy. And Josh Jacobs has been our best running back in a long, long time. So I get why everybody's going to bat for these guys consistently because we just want, we want these guys that panned out for us, that took us from level this to level this to be the guys that take us to greatness. I mean, at the end of that, you always want that. You want these guys that went to battle to be there when we turn this thing around. What do you think about Josh Jacobs, my brother? I know we talked a lot about him in the group chat. We all have our talks about him in our videos and stuff. But what do you think about him, and who do you think grabbed him?
I would say this is probably Mayock had to convince Gruden. It's hard for me to believe Gruden sat there and was like, yeah, let's take this guy that hasn't had a lot of carries, that hasn't had a lot of production in the college. So it would be hard for me to say it was Gruden. I feel like Mayock would have had to convince him, like, hey, he hasn't got a lot of touches, so he doesn't have a lot of hits on his body. He's going to be good. He's Alabama running back, so for sure he's going to produce when he does get those touches.
Yep.
You might as well grab him now before he's all banged up or before he does get that work on his body. So that's kind of how I see it. I would say I would lean towards Mayock a little bit more than Gruden, but also at the same time, it's hard because maybe Gruden was trying to like Big Shane right here was saying when they was in the darkened room, trying to do the seance and shit. Maybe that's what it was. He wanted to go get a guy that could bring back that Charlie Garner, Tyrone Wheatley kind of vibe. So he got his Jacobs, now he got his Drake. So looking at it hindsight, you could possibly say Gruden. Yeah.
Okay.
But personally about the pick, if you ask me personally about the pick, I don't really like the pick. I don't like the pick at all. Just the fact we got a running back in the first round, I don't like that. I like Josh Jacobs, the football player.
Yes.
I think if we would have got him closer to where the Eagles got Miles Sanders late in the second round, you know what I mean? Then or maybe not too late, but like middle of the second round. But taking him first in the first round, I don't know. That was tough. Because I think he was the first running back taken in that draft and the only running back taken in that draft in the first round, I believe.
Yeah.
And then after that, the next running back taken was Miles Sanders with pick 53. So I don't see too much of a difference between them. But I just don't think Josh Jacobs is a first-round running back.
No.
He's too one-dimensional. Doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he is a good running back. So I do like him. I just would have liked if he was picked somewhere else.
I agree. Damn, bro. I think it sounds like we actually talked about this behind the scenes and put it together because I agree with you. I think Mayock, look, we all know Gruden loves his offense, you guys. We know he does. That's the way he moves over everything. But I think that Gruden knows he's smart enough offensive, like he has an offensive mind where he knows he can find a running back later on in later rounds. I think this is Mayock again saying, look, this guy has no tread on his wheels. He's fresh. I've been watching this kid since blase blah. And one thing about Mike Mayock, he loves those feel-good stories. He loves them. And I remember him talking about, Josh Jacobs living in the car with his dad, so on and so forth. So he loved the person also. And I think that's what sold Mike Mayock. And I think that's another reason why Gruden was like, you know what? This year we have 3 draft picks, I think, in the first round. He's like, you know what? Okay, cool. Right. We had 3 that year, right? Did we get? Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think Gruden was like, you know what? Mike Mayock, go ahead, man, run with it. It is what it is. I think that was definitely a Mayock pick. And to be continued still, you guys. I mean, the guys have been able to stay healthy. I love him. Love Josh Jacobs. Love how just love. He seems like a good guy, genuinely, man. But we need him to stay consistent. And I know, you guys, this O-line has been beat to shit this year. We talk about this in the group chat a lot. There's no run game. You know what I mean? And one thing with one reason why, this year I'll give DC a little bit of leeway on the consistency is if you can't run the ball, all you can do is throw it. That's it. And at some point, somebody's gonna figure you out. You know what I mean? So Yeah, just like we said yesterday, Ray. I don't know who it was, me and you, but I know we agreed on it that those first 3 weeks we were like, can he keep this going? I don't think any way you can keep this going. At some point, somebody's gonna figure you out if you can't run the ball.
Yeah. Dan T says, is Josh better than Najee Harris?
Me, I'd rather have Najee.
See, that's exactly how I feel. Now, and the reason I say that is because I feel like Najee's more of not so one-dimensional. Like he can actually catch out the backfield. He could do all sorts of different stuff. Not saying Jacobs can't catch out the backfield, but
that's not
exactly. He came in having to work on it. I feel like Najee was all around, just already plug and play type. So that's kind of the difference I see right there. Najee, I would have been hella happy if we got him with that Jacobs pick, right?
Yeah.
Because he's all around. But with Jacobs, he's a little bit more one-dimensional for me. And
I think
picking him later in the second. Yeah.
One thing that DC that a lot of people don't really understand is this. Yeah, he hasn't had a defense really, right, until this year that can actually just at least go out there and get the job done a little bit. Look, we know our defense has a lot to work on, but one thing he hasn't had, and tell me if you guys disagree with me, is he hasn't had like a Alvin Kamara type running back, right?
No.
Like he hasn't had a guy that he can lean on in the passing game as well when the receivers are dropping balls or whatever's going on. Like I want a running back of Alvin Kamara, that kind of today's prototype running back. You know what I mean? When your tight ends aren't catching the ball, when Waller's having a down day, when these other guys can't get open, that's the only reason that New Orleans was still winning up to this point was because of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
No receivers. They had somebody that can at least you can still rely on Alvin. You know what I mean? Somebody that can get the job done. Latavius Murray was not that guy, Gustavo. He's a big north-south running back. You know what I mean? Like Jalen Richard is not, come on, he's not a number one. He's not a true number one. I mean, someone that's a true number one. We got Kenyon Drake now. We still haven't seen what he can do yet.
No.
We haven't unleashed, you know what I mean? We still haven't took the training wheels off of him yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I know everyone wants a Kamara. I get it. I'm just throwing something out there. Like he hasn't had that type.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's right across from the division, you got in LA, Austin Eckler, you know what I mean? Pound for pound, one of the fastest and strongest people in the NFL. So
yeah,
they're out there. They're definitely out there. You just got to utilize them. I think we're just looking for a guy you can kind of just throw a 5-yard pass to, and he could just turn it into something. Yeah, you know what I mean? And Alvin Kamara, he's not even that fast.
No,
he's not that fast. He will just make people miss. He'll make people miss. He can get open space. He knows how to read a defense. He get into certain spots. Has great hands. And so I think there's just that difference, that much of a difference. And you kind of seen it in the Dallas game when Jacobs drops that long pass. It's just like it's kind of tough because it's like, man, it's really not his game, but we know he could have caught that. Like at 9, like I feel like 9 times out of 10 he would have caught that, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of at the same time we know this isn't really his game to be out there 25 yards downfield catching footballs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely. But he has said in recent times that he wants that to be a part of his game.
Yeah.
About a couple of years ago, my brother, I think he said something like he wants to get to a point where he can get 60 catches a year, right? So, bro, you got 60 yards right there on one catch.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. I think he started running upfield before he
tried taking off running before he caught the ball.
I think he didn't realize, like, oh shit, this is really about to happen.
Now damn near.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he could have potentially took that to the house.
Yeah.
But we got to do better with helping DC, man. That could have been a TD. I know a lot of you know how critical I am of him, but this game there was a lot of movement that should have happened. That right there, I know everybody said, well, DC only had one TD. That could have been one right there to the house. I remember Waller had a big fumble. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of different things that could have happened that could have changed DC having one TD to multiple.
I mean, you almost throw over 400 yards. It's kind of like Jacobs ran it in for a 1-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
That came because we threw it all the way down to the end zone. We got to a 1-yard line, and then Jacobs ran it in. And then another drive with Mariota ran it in.
Helm missed Helm.
Helm.
Yeah, he missed it. He stopped in the middle of his route.
That's what I thought that too. I'm like, yo, that boy, we've seen this all the time. We see this all the time, this route combination where they go out and they come back in. We see Renfro hit it. We've seen Waller hit it multiple times. And then Helm, he just stops. And I was talking to somebody and they're like, no, they were like saying whose fault it was, whatever. And I'm just like, what kind of route was that? And he was like, well, it's a whip route. I'm like, well, what whip route just stops in the middle of
The middle.
you don't stop in the middle of a whip route. You know what I mean? So
But
if it's a whip route,
everybody's not designed to run the whip route.
yeah.
At the end of the day, Helm is a blocking tight end. That's
Yeah.
who he is. He was brought in to be Derek Carrier, block. Well, Carrier can he can catch.
Carrier's hurt though, right?
Yeah, he's out for the season.
See, if that was Carrier, I don't know. He would have scored. He probably would have scored.
Yeah.
Carrier been with us. He
knows.
You know what I mean? So that just goes to show how you know what I mean. We're kind of slim. If you think about it, we're slim and tight end now. Carrier down with Waller down.
I get you trying to throw defenses off by throwing a TD to Helm. That's the last option that you would assume you would go to. But we have other guys. Like I just don't know why. You know, I don't know, man. I feel like we have a lot of other guys like Kenyon Drake. Where is he? I would love to see him. You know, run one of them crazy routes and get a TD. Like, where's the receiving Kenyon Drake TDs these past few weeks? I want to see that. I want to see what the hell is going on, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey, Brandon Facts. Lee Smith would have scored on that. And Lee Smith is a great blocker. He actually had a rapport with DC early on as well.
Lee Smith's a smart guy.
Yeah, very. I wish I was hoping we would have went and traded for him from Atlanta before the trade deadline because that would have been a great pickup.
Most definitely, especially after Carey went down.
Facts. Shout out to Chris Nelson. What about Hudson, T. Brown, and Gabe Jackson to start when it comes to Mayock or Gruden? I don't think that had anything to do with Mayock.
To start. What do you mean by to start?
I think, look, at the end of the day, I think he's saying to start why we got rid of these guys.
Oh, okay. Like why we get yeah.
We needed a defense, you guys. We needed. Look, you're not going to go get Yannick. You're not going to go get all these guys that we got on the defensive side of the ball if you don't get rid of Trent Brown's contract. You don't get rid of Gabe Jackson's contract. Gabe has been mediocre at best this year with Seattle. Trent Brown has probably played about maybe 10 snaps. You know what I'm saying? And then Huddy's up there in age. And the thing that kills me with him is we're still paying $15 million in his contract this year. So I don't really understand that. You know, I don't know how it worked out. I think we just appeased him. Like, you know what? You deserve to get out of here at this point in your career. You've been a Raider. Go ahead and move on. And he's in Arizona. They're what, 9-2 or some shit? I mean, he definitely deserves that.
Is he on IR still?
I think. Is he?
I don't know. I don't really keep up too much, but last I heard he was on IR. I don't know if he still is.
At the end of the day, I think it works out for all. It worked out for all of us. And look, we've been killing Andre James, but week in and week out, he's been getting better.
Yeah.
He has. He's been getting better.
Most definitely. And the thing with the Hudson, I hate. Man, I do not like that. I feel like we got bullied out of that.
Yeah.
I would have just paid Hudson and Gabe. Honestly.
Yeah.
I would have just paid those two, but Trent Brown Trent Brown most definitely would have gone. He definitely would have gone. Save that money.
That's $14 million. That's exactly what we pay Yannick, right? Isn't it damn near what we pay Yannick? Something like that.
Yeah, I think we're giving Yannick, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around that 17, 18 or some shit. I don't know what it was. But that money we could have still went.
You gotta keep Hudson and Gabe though, in my opinion. Like if you go to Gabe and he's like, no, I'm not gonna restructure. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna say, all right. Like it's that simple. Like I'm keeping Hudson and Gabe because especially if you have the idea that you're gonna take Leatherwood, I think that just supersedes his development. It just pushes him to a next level. And it's like now you're putting us into a situation to where it's gonna be like where we are now. You know what I mean? The offensive line been struggling. So how much better would Leatherwood be with a Hudson and Gabe next to him? It's like he could cling to those dudes like you are my older brothers. You know what I mean? He could see himself in Gabe Jackson or something like that, right? So,
I've never thought about that. Like that. That's a great way to think in terms of that situation. Like if we would have went and got Alex Leatherwood, damn. Okay, speaking of Leatherwood, we'll go with him. We'll go with some. I'm gonna name just a couple more early round guys, and then we'll go in the later rounds where we know Mayock thrives. Okay, Alex Leatherwood.
I kind of like Alex Leatherwood. I'm not really mad at him. You know, when we did the whole turnover, the offensive line was one of my biggest issues. And that first game against the Ravens, they were scaring the shit out of me. I'm like, oh boy, if this is how it's gonna go, this is gonna be tough. But like I was saying then, you know, you have to give them till week 7, week 8 at the least to say, okay, this is what they are. You know what I mean? At least, you know what I mean? You
Definitely.
got to be taking a step back. All these dudes are pretty much inexperienced when it comes to consistently starting, right? Andre James, first year starter. Alex Leatherwood, obviously a rookie.
Yeah.
Richie, we didn't expect Richie and Good to go out.
Well, John Simpson, this is a
so
year
when
starter.
so when you think about it, we had Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, Richie Incognito, and Good out. Yeah. That's four starting caliber linemen right there.
Yeah.
Trent Brown was already gone, so I won't count him. So that right there. So then you think about it, we really have backups across the line, all across the line. And John Simpson, Andre James is a backup. Brandon Parker, definitely a backup. And then we have Alex Leatherwood. So, like I said, I think week 7, 8, and now on, we'll know who they are because now they have time to play together. They have time to gel, mold, and especially with Leatherwood moving from tackle to guard, you have to give them all time. You have to give them all time to develop. And I'm hard on the offensive line, and I'm saying give them time. You know what I mean? I would keep them together. That's just me. I would keep this group together. They've been together leave them together this whole season. If you want to change one piece, go ahead, change Brandon Parker. If you want to change John Simpson, go ahead and change them. If you want to change them both, go ahead. But I think James has to stay. I think he's getting a lot more confident. I think he's getting a lot I think he's getting real comfortable now. Alex Leatherwood, definitely, obviously, he's a first-round pick. He ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? The only person you have to really replace is Brandon Parker. If we get Good back, Good could go take Brandon Parker's spot. He could go take Simpson's spot. So I think we're in a good spot after this year on the offensive line. Not as bad as people think.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. But I like the offensive line right now as they develop. I don't like Brandon Parker, but obviously you can't have all pros at every position.
You can't. And you have to build on momentum. If this offensive line is getting better and they're gelling week in and week out, you can't give up on that because then it's like, why? Like, what? This is what we're here for. This is what the NFL is about. You have a cheap O-line that is gelling week in and week out. Let them have another year to build. I think the only thing we need to do is right tackle. I think I would love to have a veteran right tackle, to be honest, that that Leatherwood can actually lean on at right guard. You know what I mean? I think that would be great. And there's going to be some big options. We're all definitely going to be breaking down free agency and draft picks, the draft later on down the line. There's some right tackles that I want to talk about, some actual free agent right tackles I want to talk about. But I think this, bro, you hit it on the head. I think this O-line deserves another year to jail. John Simpson has gotten better week in and week out. When's the last time you've seen James have an errant snap? Like, he's been really good.
Yeah, he's been solid. He's been solid since about week 4 or 5. And just to add, I think we took Illuminor out because he wasn't one of our original guys, and we wanted to see our product on the field. I know it hasn't really been talked about, and it could be speculation, but that's honestly what I think. Every guy on the offensive line right now starting, we drafted. Brandon Parker was drafted with Miller, same draft. So was Andre James, although he was undrafted free agent, but still, these 3 guys came from the same year. They've been with us the whole time. They've been with Tom Cable. So how much does Tom Cable trust them, and how long are they going to be with us, right? So you put those guys out there. Alex Leatherwood, of course, is gonna start because we just drafted him. And John Simpson, he had experience with us last year, and Incognito and Goods out. So it's just, I think it just fell into a weird circumstance to they're all in-house guys. And they're all starting. So, you can't really be mad at that. We could really evaluate the talent at this point and tell them to go out there and produce. And if we don't want to keep the guys we drafted, we can get rid of them and keep the ones that we like. So
let me ask you this real quick before I ask you who you think drafted him. What do you give Tom Cable right now? A through F. You got to give him a grade because
I get
a C, maybe like somewhere down. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'll be generous and give him a D.
Okay.
That's me being generous.
So I was being nice. But I look at it from a standpoint of you have to we've been getting better, right? We've been getting better week in and week out. But you also have to take into account that I think Cable's ego was in this somehow and said, look, you guys, I'll make whatever work. I'll make whatever work, period. So I still think this falls on Cable. You know what I mean? Those losses versus, the Giants and those 3 back-to-back-to-back, that old line looked really bad. Well, they started gel a little bit. You know what? Those first 3 weeks, the old line looked really bad.
Yeah. Mainly James.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it looked so bad because of James. That he was making that old line look worse than what it really needed to be. But he's coming around. He's coming around a lot.
And that's a guy that he gave an extension to quick.
Yeah.
So, okay. So a D. I like that.
I give a D, man. And the reason I give that grade and why I'm so hard on Tom Cable is because in the beginning, he had a solid offensive line, man. You can't deny that. And they were all vets getting paid top dollar, as we know. And like I said earlier, all these guys are in-house picks. So the only NFL experience they have, the only professional coaching they have is Tom Cable.
Yeah.
So at this point, every single guy on that offensive line is a Tom Cable product. It was mentored, coached, and all the professional efforts is by Tom Cable. So that's why I give him a D. This is his product. You know, if you go out, this is why. And on the flip side, I'll give an example. Kellen Moore. A lot of people want to bring him in. And me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to see what Kellen Moore could do without a high-powered offense. Or no, without a high-powered, without all that talent.
Yes.
Without Cooper, without Lamb, without, you know what I mean? All these guys.
You're not going from a Cowboys team to a team that has the same shit that Dallas has.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying about Tom Cable. You went from having a Hall of Fame center and Rodney Hudson. Richie Incognito was in the Pro Bowl. Trent Brown was getting paid $20 million a year, the highest paid offensive tackle. Gabe Jackson was getting $10 million a year. And you have a first-round draft pick in Colton Miller, who it took you 3-4 years to develop.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, it took you 3-4 years to develop Miller. You have all these all-pro offensive linemen. You better fucking do something good, right? But then now you take all those pieces away. We got cheaper, faster, younger, and it just didn't work out that. It's not working out that well, but I think it's starting to come around. But I give him a D right now.
I'm gonna give him a C minus just because of Colton Miller's development. That's it. And that's not even, and that's even throwing him a bone because I'm just going off of one player, not the whole O-line. But I'm going to give him that because Colton Miller has been playing at an all-pro level. Yes, he had a few bad plays, but that happens, man. You can't expect him to play perfect every play. The Giants game, that was not – look, he had one bad play, but that wasn't his fault. It shouldn't have came down to that.
Yeah.
And what was it this past week? Parsons was killing Colton Miller. But
he was killing everybody.
He's a beast, bro.
He was killing everybody.
Oh, my God. He is a beast. So I'll go C minus. Okay. Alex Leatherwood. Is that a Mayock or a Gruden pickup?
I got to go Mayock.
You know?
I go Mayock.
Me too.
Alabama.
Yep.
Me personally, when we got Leatherwood, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I still don't like it that much. You know, I thought when I watched the film, I thought he was better at a pass blocking. Yeah. You know, a lot of people said he was a run mauler, but I was like, I think he's better at pass blocking. And I still kind of think that, but he's good in both in a sense, though. It's not that he's bad at run blocking. He could definitely put a body on somebody. So,
but you were right up to this point. I mean, look, he hasn't been proven to been able to. Look, we haven't been able to run the ball.
Yeah, most definitely. But I just think give him time, he'll come around. Give him time, he'll come around, and that's a lot with a lot of Alabama linemen. You just give them a little time and they'll come around. You know what I mean? These dudes, there's not many guys that are built like this. You know, so you think about Cam Robinson. I know people want to bring him in. He was off as Alabama, same situation as Alex Leatherwood. So just give him time. Speaking
like DJ Fluker, you guys, he's coming off a very bad injury. I think we went and got him to see if we can get him healthy and see if we can just keep that Band-Aid at right tackle as long as possible.
Yeah.
But Fluker is coming off a very, very bad injury, and he had surgery, I believe, in June or July. So that's a big boy, man. It's tough to get over that kind of shit. So I know a lot of people are screaming for him in the comment section. I just don't think he's ready. I think if he was, we would have already seen him by now. So you're going Mayock. I am too. Yeah. I think that he went to Tom Cable and said, "Who do you want at O-line?" Cable said, "This is my guy." He said, "Let's go get him." Simple and plain.
But I know some people were saying it was Cable. That's a Cable guy. That was a Cable guy.
Yeah, but Cable.
We're kind of going between Gruden and Mayock. You know what I mean? So
Cable can't go in there and put the pick in.
Yeah,
he has to go through a couple guys. You know what I'm saying? So
But to their defense, yeah, I can see Tom Cable saying, "Yeah, we'll take this guy because of how versatile he is." Because I believe Christian Darrisaw was still available.
Yes,
And I don't think Darrisaw is that versatile. I think he's only a tackle. He's really a one-dimensional pass blocking tackle, more agile. Alex Leatherwood, he played all up and down Alabama offensive line.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of film on that. So definitely Tom Cable. Yeah, I can see the chat being right about Tom Cable, but between Gruden and Mayock, I'm gonna go with Mayock.
And you guys have to realize as well that Leatherwood led college in penalties. He was the most penalized guard / tackle O-lineman period.
Offensive lineman in the nation.
Yeah, and he brought that into the league.
Yep.
But these past few weeks he's gotten a lot better, man. It looks as though Brandon Parker is the one that's most of those calls now. And then that bullshit call on Andre James, that was not a false start. We all know that was an offsides on Dallas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that shouldn't have been called. But Leatherwood is gradually getting better. All right, let's go to the second round. Let's go to the second round. We'll start with Trayvon Mullen.
Where we at?
Can you pull up Mike Mayock's second round draft picks? I tried to find it.
I got it right here.
Okay, I'm just going off the head right now. It starts with Trayvon Mullen, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's Trayvon Mullen. In the second round, we didn't have a third round pick that year. So we got Clee, Jacobs, Abram for the first, and then we went Mullen in the second, Crosby in the fourth, Zay Johnson in the fourth, Foster Moreau in the fourth, Hunter in the fifth, and Quentin Bell.
Yeah, that was. I got why we got Quentin Bell. That was his father was a legendary Raider. I think we were trying to keep that in house and see what we can do, and it just didn't work out. Okay, let's go with that. Let me get these supers in real quick, and I'm going to start with Trayvon Mullen.
Yeah.
You still got a little bit of time, my brother?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Okay, bet. Shout to MP. Great to see both of you together. Which games are we going to get a W in the remainder of the season? I already did a video on that, but I'm not going to do any more predictions, bro. I'm not, bro. I can't because this team is so unpredictable, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're too inconsistent. I want to say we're going to beat Washington, but I feel like I come in here lying. I just can't. I just can't do it. So, like, I'm not doing any more predictions for the games. I'm just going to say, let's just show up and just show out. And hopefully we get some
you go beat the Ravens, and you lose to the Bears and the Giants, and you beat the Cowboys. Fuck around and lose to the damn Washington football team, and then beat the Chiefs, and then lose to the Broncos. Like something crazy. Like what the hell?
One thing I can say that this Dolphins win is starting to look better week in and week out. They're winning more games. I think they're 5-7 now. Like they've been balling. So that's going to help us strengthen the schedule. Come down to the line. But yeah, man, and I appreciate you, brother. Yeah. I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Shout out to you, though, my brother. Shout out to Top Beats. 465 in the chat. Only 157 likes. Please support the show and wipe those feet. Shout out to you, Top. I appreciate you, brother. Wipe them shit, you guys. Wipe them feet and subscribe to the channel. And if you're not subscribed to our brother Ray the Tape,
yes, sir.
If you guys love to watch film breakdown, there is two gods in this shit. It's him and Sanjeet, man. So definitely go over there and support. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Raider Films is a monster as well. We got a bunch of guys. Carl, yeah. Shout out to Carl. Yeah. But we got some guys in this shit, and Raid is one of them. So make sure you guys go subscribe to my guy. All right, let's do this.
Let's go.
Trayvon Mullen.
Where we at?
I think we're going to agree on this as well. What school he went to and all that, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Where are we going with Trayvon Mullen? Where do you think that he's looked like up to this point? Who drafted him?
I would say, I'll say Mike Mayock.
Bing, 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 bing.
I'll say Mike Mayock. Good. I like the pick though. I like Mullen, second round pick. You can't be too mad at it. So I like Mullen. I like the pick. I like Mayock picking him up. I think Clemson on it is just telling me Mayock.
I got his fingerprints all over.
Yeah. At that point, I don't got nothing else to say, man. If it's Clemson, Alabama at this point, I'm like, yo, Mayock, he probably had the biggest influence on it.
Okay. Let's bounce around from draft to draft. We'll do this real quick because we're gonna keep it in the second round. Trayvon Merrick, man.
Trayvon, oh, bro, that's an A+++ right there.
A++. You know what's funny?
Because I have to say that because I was gonna take him in the first.
Yeah, me too.
They took him in the second and traded it up to get him in the second, that's A++ for me. You know,
You know what? I'm not giving Mayock, Gruden, anybody the luxury of saying that was their draft pick. I'm gonna say he fell into our laps and we were forced to go get him.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say Bradley was probably pushing for him. Like, I need my safety. I need my safety, right? But yeah, you're probably right. If we didn't go get him, like with that opportunity, we're slipping because I know the Jags, the Cowboys were right behind us, and they would have snatched them up quick. And I think we only jumped up like 4 picks, if I'm not mistaken. We jumped up like a few picks right before those 2 other teams, and we snatched them up.
Yeah.
And
we traded with the Niners, I believe.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we did trade with the Niners, and I think the first safety off the board, or no, the first safety off the board was Holland. And he was right there, that first pick in the second round.
Yep.
First pick in the second round. Then like a couple more picks later, it was Trayvon Mayock. So I think it was just interesting that, I don't know, we could have probably, do you think we could have had either? Depending on what the Dolphins, if the Dolphins was like, we're going to take Mayock, do you think we would have ended up with Holland?
I think we still would have had to trade up. Look, you know, everybody knows Javon Holland was my guy. I love Mayock.
No, I'm saying even if we trade up, I say don't matter. I'm saying doesn't matter who, but regardless, we were going to trade up to get a safety. It's kind of what I'm saying. Like whether Holland or Mayock, like we was going to trade up. Or do you think we wanted Mayock more specifically?
We wanted Mayock.
Yeah, okay.
I think Mayock, I know that a lot of people don't know, but Javon Holland didn't play his last year in college because of the whole COVID situation. I think he sat out the whole year. I don't know why. I don't know why the echo's going on. My apologies, y'all. But I think that Holland wasn't even on our draft board. And like maybe later on, maybe he could have been third, fourth best safety. I thought that Richie Grant may have been the guy if we didn't go get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So thank God it worked out how it worked out.
For real.
I mean, like don't get me wrong. I love Javon Holland. He's balling in Miami right now. Those are clearly the 2 best safeties, and it usually never
you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, it usually never happens like that. Where the 2 first guys that go up are the best 2 safeties in the draft, and right now they are clear cut. Trayvon Mayock and Javon Holland. You can't lose. It's 1A, 1B, and it can go either way. But I love the pick. That was a steal. He will be an all-pro guy at some point. I still feel like Mayock has hardly really ever been tested this year, and going into week 11 or some shit. I think that's a great sign. He's only going to get better. And with Ron Miles here and Gus Bradley, even if it's only a year, them helping him, that was a huge part in his development.
Yeah, for sure.
So we both agree that was a great pickup. Gus probably said, "I need my guy." Yeah. I don't know who made the call, but either way, I'm going to wash my hands with that one because I feel like that was a clear cut. He's there in the second round.
Yep.
So let me show y'all what a back injury is. I've been moving around because my back is killing me right now. Like if you can see how I'm sitting, this is a back injury. That shit that Mayock had, that was not a back injury. They were trying to make this guy fall down the draft board, and we got lucky, man. We definitely got lucky. What's some other second round draft picks?
Really, that was. Let me check real quick. I got him right. PJ Hall in 2018.
Was that?
Or Mike Mayock wasn't here, so no, Trayvon Mullen. We didn't have a second in 2020, and then we got Trayvon in 2021. So we only had 2 second round picks since Mayock been here.
So we can agree both those picks were good. They're like one could potentially be great. Actually both could potentially be great.
I like them both.
Yeah.
If we had to go back and say, you know what I mean, are you still picking them? I wouldn't be mad at that without looking at who was picked behind them, obviously. Yeah. I would say, I wouldn't be mad at that. I'd definitely take them both. You got 2 starting caliber defensive backs.
Yeah.
Young. So definitely solid.
Do you mind if we do this? A shout out to the chat. I know I don't want to be biased, Raider biased. I feel like we should skip the third round because we know how this shit goes. Yeah. We got the Lynn Bowdens of the world. We got the Tanner Muses. We got Malcolm Kuntz, which is we don't know what we got yet. Javon Diablo, we don't know what we got yet. There's just a lot of guys there that's not here anymore.
Yeah.
Brian Edwards is the only guy left pretty much outside of Malcolm Kuntz, hasn't played it down yet.
Hold on. So we got Kuntz, Diablo.
Yeah.
Brian Edwards, Tanner Muse,
and Bowden.
Yeah.
Brian Edwards is the only clear-cut guy that we can say what we have. I think it's pointless to even try. I'm gonna say this: up to this point, Mayock has failed miserably in the third round. I don't care if it's him or Gruden. This is terrible.
Yep.
But there's a great thing that comes after this third round. It's the fourth. And this is where Gruden has had his bread and butter. Okay? We're just going to bounce around. We don't have to really go off of what draft is blah, blah, blah. But fourth round, you got him up?
We got, in 2019, the fourth round was Crosby, Johnson, and Morrow.
Okay.
That's good.
There's two guys right there.
Yep.
Isaiah Johnson's no longer with us, but he had a lot of potential. I'm not mad about that pick. I'm sorry, you guys. I know a lot of people like he's a bust. He wasn't really a bust. He's a fourth round guy. But I seen what we were trying to do. Mad Max, we won that clear as day.
Yep.
That is one of the best pickups. This is why you can fight for Mike Mayock's job with these kind of pickups, right? You can say, well, if you give Mayock a whole draft without Gruden, this is potentially what he can do, because this is Mike Mayock. I'm telling you now, Gruden didn't know anything about a young boy in Eastern Michigan or whatever the hell. He didn't know anything about that. That was all Mayock.
That's for sure. That was for sure Mayock. All these, I feel like now that I'm looking at it and we're talking about it, I feel like Mayock kind of had more control of the draft now I think about it. Just like you sit here and you look, you say, okay, these are all his guys in the fourth round. And then you got your Clemson boys and your Alabama boys, I would say is kind of a Mike and Mayock influence. So, yeah, a lot of these dudes is Mayock picks, especially in this first draft, 2019.
Yeah. So, hey, I love the pick. I love the Max pick. I love the Nicholas. He said was it Nicholas Morrow?
Fourth round, Max Crosby, Isaiah Johnson, and Foster Moreau.
Oh, okay, Foster. Yeah, because I'm like Nicholas Morrow was undrafted, right? Or sixth.
Yeah. He was. I think he was undrafted out of Green somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so Foster, man, we know what he can do. I get why we went and drafted him. I feel like we have our Gronkowski, Hernandez.
Yeah.
It's just Morrow has to be more consistent. Has to block better, man. Sometimes he's just like one of the.
Yeah, he's hit and miss when it comes to blocking. Sometimes he'll blow a guy up, and sometimes he'll just get blown up. So
yeah,
it's hit and miss.
But I'm not mad about the pickup. You know what I mean? Like I think that Foster Moreau was a good pickup. Yeah, fourth round. At this point, you're trying to get some guys. You're trying to get some dogs, and I think that Foster has fit that mold at times more than not. So I'll go with okay, cool. I'll give him an A on Max, A+++. I'll give him a B on Foster Moreau, and then Isaiah Johnson, I'll give him a C- because I knew what we were trying to do. You want that long, lengthy kind of guy to play corner safety. I get it. So, hit or miss, but cool. I like that. Let's go to this fifth round. Fifth round, the Hunter Renfrows of the world, the Nate Hobbs of the world. This right here, John Simpson too, right? Was he fifth or sixth?
John Simpson was fourth.
Was he a fourth round?
So the other fourth round picks would be Gillespie, which was last year. Just this past year. And then the other fourth rounds in the previous year were Simpson and Amik Robinson.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Amik. So Amik is still – okay, so damn, I skipped over a lot of people. My apologies, y'all. Amik, I mean, look, at this point, I think we already know what Amik is. We know who Amik is. At this point, he's maybe a special teams guy, fifth guy at corner. Some days we're like, oh, shit, he's the next dude. And then we're like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
I think we know what we have with Amik. I think Amik is at this point wasn't a good draft pick, and I had him as our silent but deadly draft pick of that draft. I thought Amik was great. I watched him at Louisiana Tech. I was like, this guy is a monster outside. And then we put him at corner and we put him in the slot because of his size, and that's just not his game. That's just not his game. And I think now we're realizing that Amik just in this league. I don't think he just translated. I don't think
it's hard. It's tough. It's tough. I like Amik, but it's tough being that size. It's tough.
John Simpson, I feel like is still kind of. I don't want to give him a draft. I don't want to give him a grade yet because he's kind of had his ups and his downs, but he's kind of got thrown into the fire, man. You know what I mean? Like Clemson boy, never really had a big name even over there. I thought we were just reaching because it was a Clemson guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, let's go get an offensive, let's go get a guard. And he's like, oh, hey, guess what? There's a Clemson one available. Let's go get him.
Right.
I still want to come back at the end of the year and give that draft, give him a grade, because I see him getting better week in and week out.
Yeah.
At this point, maybe middle of the pack, give him a C, maybe, because I don't know. I give him a C. Well,
I would give him. I give Simpson a C. 4th round guy.
Yeah.
He's not completely terrible. And at that point, you go get a guard in the 4th. I feel like he's lived up to a 4th round pick, being a guard in the 4th round. You know what I mean? Starting in the 2nd year or so.
But at this point, 4th round, 50-50 kind of hit. It's like you hit and miss.
Yeah.
And this is kind of you'd be lucky to hit 50-50 in these later rounds.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I give
a lot of these
Mayock
guys don't even stay in the league
at all. So I give him really, really good credit to find the Foster Moreaus and the Mad Maxes of the world. John Simpson, we don't know. Like I said, I'm still going to say up and, but I 50-50 hitting that 4th round. It's a lot better than that 3rd round because it looks like 90% don't hit. Gillespie, I think he's going to be great in this league.
I think he a boy, but that's just me. I like Tyree. I feel like he ain't going to get no time, though.
I agree with you. I don't know why we're being so patient with these guys that we brought in, the Divine Diablo, Malcolm Kuntzes, and Tyree Gillespie's of the world. But I agree with you. I think Gillespie's going to be a dog. So, but to be determined. We can't say nothing. We haven't seen him too much of him. But I'm still giving him a chance because I really agree. I think that he's a dog. He's a boy.
Yeah. Is he really hurt?
I believe didn't we put him on the IR?
Yeah, but sometimes they'll just put a guy on the IR so nobody can take him off the practice squad.
Yeah,
they'll say like he's on IR because it's some injury, but it's like you're really just trying to save him. You ain't trying to get your guy taken.
So, but at this point, do you think that we picked Teamer over him, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I know that Teamer is Gus Bradley's guy, and Teamer has had some, he's had some bright spots as well, but I just feel like I'm going with the younger guy, man. Like I'm going with Tyree Gillespie. That was Gus. Yeah. That was Gus guarantee was beating the table for Gillespie. Say, hey man, look, this guy's a dog. We need him. Bring him in. So I just don't understand why you don't go with the younger pup. But it is what it is.
Yeah. You think about Levitt sometimes being in the game too. So how is Levitt? I'm just trying to think like what is that dynamic there? You got Levitt, Gillespie, Teamer. Abram, where's that dynamic to say, oh, we're gonna put Levitt out there instead of playing Tyree Gillespie? You know what I mean? Is Gillespie that much like what do they see in Gillespie on the practice field or something? To where it's like, damn. And I know watch me seen it. Yeah, we was talking about Gillespie being hurt.
I know one of his knocks coming into the NFL was he had no turnovers in Missouri. But at the end of the day, bro, it's like who cares? Like he was great. He was really good in coverage. He was a great tackler. He was all over the place. Anytime you watch Missouri tape, man, this dude was anywhere the ball was, he was near the ball. I want to see what he can do. Shout to Julian. He said, what do you guys think of Abram moving the linebacker, kind of like Keanu Neal in Dallas? I mean, look, we love to see him in the box. He does not belong in coverage at all. Period. I mean, period, point blank. I don't know about moving him to linebacker full time. I just like him in the box. Put him in the box where he is and let him thrive. I want to do it. This is why I want to see Gillespie and Mayock back there. I want to see both of those guys together at safety.
Yeah.
I think that'd be mean, bro.
That would be that's what I want to see. I want to see Tyree because in my thought process, right? If Abrams is getting beat in coverage, then I mean, what the hell is Tyree Gillespie gonna do? I mean, what's he gonna do? Get beat? What difference? What difference that gonna make? And I don't think Gillespie is gonna miss tackles like that. Yeah. I don't think we've seen him in the preseason make the tackles. We've seen him in college making those tackles all the time. I like Tyree Gillespie, man. He played single high safety in college.
Yep.
Like it at a pretty good rate. You know what I mean? At a pretty high level. He played man coverage on Kyle Pitts. That was one of his big things, right? That's one of his bullets, right? Was he
one reception
coverage on Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, it was like one reception for 7 yards or some shit.
And another big play people remember was he was on Devontae Smith and he laid him out. So there was a lot of he shows flashes. That's why I like him. He shows flashes. I think he makes impact plays. and that's why I like him. That's why I like him.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I have big hopes just for him, like I do with Malcolm Kuntz. I think Malcolm Kuntz can be a dog. At the end of the day, I get why we're sitting Malcolm Kuntz. There's no reason to rush him in when Yannick and Max are playing at just a high level. There's no reason to push him in there, and just there's no reason. And then you still got other guys. I don't know what's going on with Nassib. I know he has a knee injury as well. So maybe Kuntz gets thrown into the fire up sometime soon. We don't know the severity of the injury yet, but I think Kuntz has a lot of high hopes. Devon Diablo as well. That's why I said to be determined with those guys. 5th round. So another great guys, man. Nate Hobbs, this dude, defensive rookie of the year caliber guy. He's been balling out in the slot. Probably top 3 tackler on this team. That says a lot. We got, Denzel Perryman is one of our best tacklers. A lot of people don't give Max Crosby the credit for how good he tackles. He tackles pretty good. Abram has gotten better this year, but Nate Hobbs, this guy seems like he's in on everything. Ball hawk. Wherever the ball is, he's in on it. And I don't really see too many guys get past him.
Right.
What is your assessment thus far on Nate Hobbs? I think we all can agree that he's been just a dog.
Yeah, that's an A+ easily. Easy A+. I didn't know who he really was when we drafted him. But he's an A+, easy, man. My number one thing with Nate Hobbs, and it's probably my number one thing when it comes to any defender that's not on the line, is getting outside of blockers. So like someone will try to block him and he'll get through that shit. And
get through it.
Just this last game, you've seen it. 2 guys on the screen try to get on Hobbs. He got through it, and it forced the runner to go inside, and then somebody's be able to get him. So that's my favorite thing when it comes to defenders, and that was my biggest knock on Devon Diablo, was he couldn't get off of tight ends.
Yeah,
I'm like, if you're gonna play linebacker, that's unacceptable for me.
Unacceptable.
But Nate Hobbs, he's a dog. He's a beast. He's willing to hit. That's my number one thing I like. He's a nickel corner, willing to hit. He's always in there, damn near looking like a linebacker. And he plays coverage pretty well. So Hobbs definitely A+.
You can't teach a lot of the shit that Hobbs has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, getting through defender, like, bro, that's in, like, man, you just love, as a football guy, you just love watching that kind of shit.
Easy.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, not a lot of people in the league, period, have those kind of instincts, man. So shout out to Mayock or whoever. I don't think this had Gruden's hands on it at all. I think that, in the later rounds, Gruden's like, Mayock, do your thing. I think this is a Mayock guy. I think Gus Bradley may have knew about him as well. But Miles as well. But
Lovie Smith, coach.
Yeah, Lovie Smith. I think that they were in contact with Lovie, saying, "What do you think about this guy? How is he going to translate at the next level?" And hell of a career thus far in his rookie year. Big pickup. A+ Mayock. Did your thing. Good job. Who else do we have on some fifth round guys?
The only just him and Renfro, right?
Him and Renfro, earlier. And then
those are the only 5th round picks we've had since 2019.
And the Mayock, a 10. I keep forgetting that Mayock's only been around a few years.
Yeah.
But Renfro, that to me, that's another Mayock guy, right? Clemson.
That's definitely a Mayock guy for me.
Yeah. He's
definitely a Mayock guy. A++ again.
Yeah. He doesn't fit the mold of a Gruden receiver in the past. Have you ever really looked at all of his receivers in the past? When the hell has Gruden ever had a Hunter Renfro type guy? You know what I mean? He doesn't have the speed.
He doesn't have that grr.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But he doesn't have that speed. He doesn't have that grr. He doesn't have that I'm gonna hit you. He doesn't have that real too much grit. But one thing about Hunter Renfro is he's not afraid. I think although Hunter Renfro, you might see him as a small, little frail guy, but Hunter Renfro, he'll take some shots, and he's not afraid to catch the football.
Not at all.
So Renfro is a dog in his own way. He's definitely a dog in his own way.
At this point, Mayock is 100% in the 5th round. Moving forward, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really want to go 6th and 7th rounders because we know how this shit goes. I mean, this is pretty much you're drafting just to see what you can get.
You just pick it. Yeah.
But you know what? I'll give Mike Mayock credit that he used the 6th rounder to go get Denzel Perryman.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's quality. Because it makes you, if you could do this in the league, like send 6th, 7th round picks, in my opinion, you have to do that. Just do it all the time. If you can go get a Perriman quality of an NFL proven talent for a 6th, 7th round pick, I'm doing that every single time.
Yeah. And
like, come on, like
Gus knew what Perriman can do.
Yeah.
I've been screaming even when we got him. You know, I even seen other guys. Even Honcho was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you told me about Perriman. I've been watching him since Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is a dog, bro. Like, he's a dog. It's just he's not been able to stay healthy for shit. And you know, this year he's finally been. I'm gonna be honest though, y'all. I hope the NFL never tries to check his engine to see like if anybody's on some roids, this motherfucking Denzel Perriman. You know what I mean? From that. You know what I mean?
Never lie, because oh shit, you brought it down. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh shit, we better be careful, because damn, who the hell would step up and take his spot?
Bruh, nobody. I mean, look,
nobody. That boy hit the key sweat on him. Nobody.
Nobody. Like, but you know, Nicholas Morrow, they say he may be back this week or next week. That's a good sign. You know what I mean? But yeah, no one can do what Denzel Perriman has done for us.
No.
John, I got you, my brother. Shout out to Sarah. Definitely, I got you, my brother. Send your love to your Raiderette.
Yep.
Definitely. Shout out from me and Raid. Still will, bro. 3 people in the AFC West that's 6-5. Through all the adversity, we're still in it. Let's go. You know what's so crazy, still will? If Denver beats Kansas City next week and the Chargers win and we win, everyone is going to be 7-5 in our division.
Yep.
Everyone will be 7-5. And what's crazy is Denver are technically being in first, but we have the tiebreaker over them, and then KC has a tiebreaker over us. Yeah. So, and then Chargers have it over us. So it's just tricky right now. The best bet is if we go out and win these next 2 games, we're in first place.
Yeah.
Period. That's go out and win the games. Shout out to you though, still will. And then also, okay, here we go. So what's your assessment thus far, man? I think we pretty much went over all the draft picks that matter. Mike Mayock, where are you with him? Like, just his tenure, his 2 years being here. If you're
I'm not a Mike Mayock guy. I'm not a Mike Mayock guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Simple playing. I don't like. I just think I don't know. I don't know how he is with the players. I don't think he's a players guy. I just honestly, I don't. You know, you bring in AB, something happens there, you somehow ruin that. And I feel like it had Gruden looking like a fool, but I feel like it wasn't Gruden's fault. I feel like Gruden wasn't the problem there. I feel like Gruden can deal with the diva. I feel like Gruden can. Like he's not really tripping. He's like, just go out there and fucking perform, dude.
Yeah.
Like just worry about football. Don't worry about the outside stuff. But I think with Mayock, he's more of like no, you know, we're not gonna deal with this. You know, we're not taking no BS type. And then him and AB got into it, and AB got shipped out because rightfully so, because AB was
he went and won a championship, bro. Like that's what hurts more. Like, don't be wrong, you chose where you went. It's like I don't really want to give you that championship. But the shit you did to us, and then you go win a championship, it's like, come on, dog. That's just so Raider-esque, bro, for us to lose a player like him, and then he runs off and wins a goddamn championship.
Yeah. So that AB situation, and then the situation with Rodney Hudson and Gabe Jackson, that right there bothers me, man. I know a lot of people don't really look at that like, it's not that big a deal. And me personally, I feel like people try to play it off sometimes like we want to just get younger, faster, and save money, but we took a big dead cap hit for Rodney Hudson.
Yes.
And to sit here and think like, oh, we got rid of Rodney Hudson for our benefit, I don't think you can really say that. I think that's kind of a cop-out. And Mike Mayock messed that relationship up. Now, and it's a $13 million cap hit. That's a whole Yannick.
Yeah.
That's a whole, feel me? So it's kind of tough. That's a whole receiver core. Shit, that could have been, OBJ and Deshaun Jackson and some.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, I don't know. I don't like Mayock. I don't think he's a players guy.
Okay.
He's always talking about we want to bring in a character guy, high character. And I feel like he was talking about high character more than John Gruden was. And just based off that, I'm like, come on. Like, you're talking about high character, but we keep having all sorts of weird-ass organizational transactions that are biting us in the ass.
So we're both moving forward from Mike Mayock because, like I said, I feel like he deserves one more year, but it doesn't make sense to give him one more year when you're getting a whole new coaching staff.
Yeah,
So at this point,
no
I
sense.
want a proven guy. I want a proven guy
Yeah.
that's been a GM, that's done a lot of things in this league before, not someone that's coming off of television like our head coach and our GM, someone that's actually been here, done that year in and year out, and that knows how to be a GM, knows how to when to stick his head in, when not to. Mayock shouldn't have had a relationship with Antonio Brown. There should have been no relationship. To me personally, the GM stays up in the box and does his own shit. There's no reason why Mayock and Antonio Brown have any kind of relationship to me. That's just me personally. I don't see why they're talking. Like why are you talking to your GM? Unless you're having contract, negotiations and shit like that. Even then, your agents are running that. I just don't know why you guys are and to be honest with you, it didn't help that HBO was involved. When you bring in Antonio Brown and you want to have Mike Mayock in the mix, you want to talk to everybody. I don't think that was a good mix of anything. But I think that Mayock learned that from Gruden, to be more involved than you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be involved in every single thing, man. And I think that he learned that from Gruden. And I think at some point, man, we got to get our stench off of Gruden. If we let Gruden go for this reason, Mike Mayock's a Gruden guy. He went out and got Gus Bradley. He went out and got all these other guys, Tom Cable, Greg Olson. If we want to move on from Gruden, then let's move on from Gruden. Anything his hands are on, keep it pushing. So I agree with you, brother. I think this offseason, if we don't get into the playoffs, which even if we slip in at 10-7, it's not enough for me. I think that we still need to clean house. I don't think that's something you build on. Now, if we win our division, then it's something different. It's like, oh, okay, shit, hold on, maybe we got something going on. But 10-7 it is technically, we got better. But what does it take for you to not move on from this GM and this coaching staff? 11-6 is that like okay?
That's kind of where I have the same question. I have the same question about the staff. I have the same question about the quarterback. What would it take for us to keep Carr? What would he have to do to prove we should keep him, right? What would this team have to do to prove we should keep Mayock and this coaching staff, right? And that's just where I'm at with this team. Because you think about it, say we even do good, right? Is Rich going to be the head coach still?
I know.
You see what I'm saying? So you're not gonna. So it's gonna be hard to say, all right, say we make the playoffs, then you go into the next year and you say, all right, Rich, you're gonna be the head coach. I don't like that. I don't want Rich to stay the head coach. I just don't want that at all. No. And then to say you're gonna bring in a new head coach, he's gonna bring in his guys.
Yeah.
On one side of the ball. Say he's an offensive minded guy, right? So then that's a whole new offense. Greg Olson's out of here, Tom Cable's out of here, all those guys, they could potentially keep Gus Bradley. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like that'd be a lot of work just to keep a guy around for 1 year. If we want to go,
it would be crazy, bro. If we gave Gus Bradley the head coaching position, gave Ron Miles the defensive coordinator position because he deserves that.
Yeah.
And then you watch Gus Bradley fire Greg Olson again. That would be hilarious because he fired him in Jackson.
Yeah, in Jags, yeah.
That would be crazy, bro. And I don't want Gus Bradley as a head coach, y'all. He's not been proven to be a good head coach in this league. But that would be hilarious to see that. Yes, you guys, listen. Me personally, if we can get Devontae Adams next year, right? Solely because DC is still here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like that's a guy that is a game changer. That's a real game changer that DC's never had. Yes, he's had the Coopers of the world, the Crabtrees of the world. He's had enough, but this is more than enough. You get a Devontae Adams talent to match up with Waller, and at that point, look. Then if we can't win with DC, I think even DC, like people that love DC, are gonna be like, okay, you know what? It's just not working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at that point, if you can go get Devontae Adams and match him up with Waller and Renfro, at that point, look.
No.
If we can do that, I'm definitely down to bring DC back another year and see what we can do. Definitely. But, I just at this point, I just feel like
I'm bringing DC back regardless for this year, just how cheap his contract is.
Yeah.
And, he'd be a perfect bridge quarterback. I mean, to say the least, he'd be a perfect bridge quarterback. I wouldn't mind a rookie sitting behind him. I wouldn't mind setting up our team for a new guy to come in.
Yeah.
If there's gonna be changeover, I don't want to bring a new guy in and then have them deal with hella changeover.
Yeah.
I'd rather just set it up for the new guy to come in and just be ready to just hit the ground running. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to deal with all sorts of crazy stuff.
Shit.
We could have an offensive line more built, and figure out the kinks, and then it'll be Carr's last year anyway. So wash our hands clean, have a fresher team, and bring in a new guy. That's how I would personally do it.
Who would be your guy if DC ends up being that bridge gap quarterback? Who is your guy if you can pick someone to sit behind him and learn for a year?
I can't even say right now. As far as college, I couldn't even say.
Yeah, I know you really don't watch college too much, and I know if you do, at the end of the year, you kind of get a little more active in that situation. Yep. Okay, let me ask you this: Are you sold on going to do the mobile dual threat quarterback at this point? Does it have to be one of those guys?
I think it just depends on on what we're doing. It just depends on the offense, right? Because I feel like that mobile quarterback works only in certain situations. You have different kind of mobile quarterbacks because Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson are not the same.
No.
They're mobile, but they're not
the
same. They're not the same. They're not the same. You know what I mean? Deshaun Watson could sling that mug.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He'll break tackles and sling that thing. Lamar Jackson, he could sling it, but he'll take off on your ass.
Yeah,
he a different kind of breed. So I think it just depends on which way we lean. If we get a Lamar Jackson type, something like that, then I feel like our defense has to step up a lot more.
Definitely.
And then our run game and offensive line definitely we have to switch everything else. Like
everything.
I wouldn't even worry too much about the wide receivers. Just keep a speedster. We have Waller at the tight end. That'd be perfect with the mobile quarterback, the safety blanket. You have Jacobs, but you would have to get a way better offensive line because if we want to run that football, especially with a quarterback, the offensive line is going to have to be able to block.
You pretty much just described Baltimore.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. Right. And then you go get fucking John Harbaugh from Michigan and call it a damn day. But that's what I would do for a mobile quarterback. The Harbaughs are proven to be like they're proven to take quarterbacks all the way to the top that are mobile with strong arms. So for me, that would be a perfect plan. That'd be in a perfect world. But
shout out to Stillwell. He said, I want to see Mariota line up for a run and throw bomb in the fourth, fake punt on the fourth, and flea flicker to D-Jacks. Andy Reid type of plays, new head coach. Shout out to Stillwell. I do want to see some more creativity. But guess what, though, Will? I think we all agree at this point it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. We are who we are. I don't think in week 11, week 12, we become a whole new team and whole new identity. I think we already have our playbook. We're running with it. Yeah. Yes, we are getting a little more creative, I guess, in interjecting Mariota into the red zone. But you know what? A lot of people are making sense with there is a snap count on Mariota. If he plays too many plays, we're going to have to pay him a lot more money. I think there's a reason why we are kind of feeding him how we are. I think it is deeper than actual football. I think it's money at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might have to pay him so much if he gets too many snaps.
Yeah. So that may be something that we're looking at.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I said John.
Well, John is Baltimore. That's why it worked. Yeah, I knew what you were saying, brother. Shout out to my brother Oakland Knight, man. Who is going to be the advisor to Mark Davis in making these decisions? Mark has openly admitted he doesn't really know what he's doing. One of the reasons he leaned on Gruden. Well,
Gruden brought this up before. This is why, it's hard because Gruden was that dude. He made the decisions. So
Oakland Knight, this is it. This is how I feel. Maybe you don't feel me on this, Ray. Don't lean on former Raiders. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Go find somebody that's actually been out here in these streets that knows what they're doing. Don't lean on your guys just because they're former Raiders, man. Yeah. Go find some actual people. I don't want to see him leaning on Marcel Reese. What should I do? Marcel Reese has done nothing in this league for him to say what he should do business-wise on GM and personnel. What has Marcel Reese done? Like, you can't lean on him. Look, Charles Woodson is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. You can't lean on Charles Woodson in terms of bringing in a GM. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there's Tim Brown, my favorite player of all time. I don't want Mark Davis to go talk to Tim Brown about What should we do to bring in a GM? No, like go find somebody else outside of the organization that's been proven to build teams from the ground up and say, what do I need to do? What am I doing wrong? And let me just get the hell away from this. All I want to do is own this team. That's it. And you guys figure this shit out. But Mark needs to stop leaning on former Shield members. It's just, to me, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you, man. Personally, I like Louis Riddick though, and I know he's a former Raider. Yeah, but for me, the reason I say him is because it's not like it's a historical Raider. You know, you brought up Tim Brown. Louis Riddick is nothing. Will be nothing near a Tim Brown is to this Raider Nation. Tim Brown's, like you said, also he's my favorite football player of all time.
Yeah.
Charles Woodson. Louis Riddick will be nothing like that. I think Louis Riddick is just a little bit different. Just based off of he does have a relationship with the team, but he's out there, you know what I mean? He in his personality, his characteristics, his swagger, he's a little younger, he's a lot more hip, he's in touch with the new generation. Yes. And I think you need that with the way the NFL is going. I know San Francisco's not doing that great, but John Lynch and the Shanahan relationship over there looks pretty cool. They picked up great players, and
they're back. And they're back in the hunt right now.
Yeah, they're back. Exactly. They're back, right back in the hunt. And
bro, they have the same record as us right now. Who would have thought the 49ers would have bounced back and did what they did? And shit, these past few years, they balled out. They've been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. So
And that's what the Jimmy G.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine if they had DC.
Yeah, they for sure. He's making that throw. He's making that one pass Jimmy can't.
Definitely. You know, hey, Watts, I said nothing bad about Marcel Reese, my brother. I love Marcel Reese. I love that he's still in the organization. I love that he can still get a check off being a Raider. But in terms of a GM, Marcel, he doesn't need to have any say in that.
Yeah.
Because he has done nothing in his career in terms of that. You know what I mean? So whatever Marcel Reese is doing now, I love it. Continue to do that, but just don't be in on that kind of segment. Yeah. Oakland, so you're hitting the nail on the head. We need to change our philosophy as an organization to move forward. We keep being stuck in the past way too much. This is definitely a conversation I want to have. And Oakland Night, I know, bro, do you still want to do that show tomorrow night? Shout out to Oakland Night. I know we were trying to do something tomorrow night about putting some money together for an organization that Oakland Night has. So we'll talk about that today. I'm going to reach out to you, Night, after this, and let's definitely reach out. We want to do a fundraiser. And raise some money for a great organization.
I got a question real quick. It's just random, hypothetical situation. Mike Mayock versus Louis Riddick in the AB situation. Do you see like that a feud happening still, or do you see it kind of being more diffused if you had a Louis Riddick versus Mike Mayock?
Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to do the race angle. Louis Riddick is a black man.
Yeah.
AB called the white man a cracker.
Yeah.
You're not calling Louis Riddick a cracker.
Yeah.
And it's been proven with some shit that AB be saying a little here and there. Look, if you have a black man in a power position like Louis Riddick, there's no problem. I don't think AB wants no smoke.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I hate to do the racial angle, but Louis Riddick's there. Him and AB can talk. I think that Louis Riddick knows how to play both sides.
Yep.
Former player. He knows the ins and outs of this shit. I feel like, that would have never happened.
Yeah. You see, that's kind of what I mean. That's kind of what I mean. But I agree with Dirty Raider. He says maybe not as a GM, but as a president. I was like, okay. I mean, I could see that. Very good point.
Yeah, definitely. No. I would love to have Louis Riddick because I think Louis Riddick's been screaming for it. I don't know if you guys watch him on Twitter and Instagram and even on ESPN. He's always shouting out the Raiders.
Showing love.
Always showing love.
Yes.
And I feel, and he's even, I think, retweeted a few people when we said, like, hey, you need to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Like, he, at some point, at some capacity, president, I like that. I would love to bring in Louis Riddick. He knows his business side of things. He knows the football side of things.
Yep.
I would love to have someone like him. Imagine if Louis Riddick came in as president, and we got, I don't know who we go get for a GM, and then we brought in like a Mike Tomlin to Pittsburgh, let him walk.
If we could get Mike Tomlin, bro, that would, fucking right.
See, just like Scout said, no GM, Louis Riddick, but president, please. Scout screaming. I would love that. I just don't want to do the GM thing. I want someone to come in that knows this shit already. I don't want to bring in a GM we have to groom because we have no one in the organization to groom a GM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, there's nobody to groom someone to become someone that they don't even know who to become. You know what I mean? Shout out to Steel Will, needed New Jersey, and can't decide on Renfro. Bro, you can't lose with either one. Can't lose with either one.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Crosby, because the man don't stop both. So Nation, shout out to you. Shout out to Crosby. He laughed at my video that I posted the other day and him doing that
was putting moves on the coach.
Yeah, that rip move on the coach. That shit was hilarious, bro. That shit was
if Tomlin would put the Raiders on the map as head coach, that just doesn't happen. I don't think that could ever happen, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that could ever happen.
Why?
Mike Tomlin, if Steelers get rid of Mike Tomlin, they're
stupid as fuck.
They're burnt the hell out.
Yeah.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone like that. Someone will snatch him up so quick.
Watch, you prove my point, though. Like, groom a GM, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? Like, we brought somebody in, we're like, we got to groom this guy? Like, it makes no sense. So, like, what I'm saying is what you're saying, brother. We're just saying it in different words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to
bringing in a new guy that's going to have to – we don't want to bring in a guy that's new to the damn job because then he's going to be experimenting with us, basically. He's going to be – you know what I mean? He's going to be a virgin with us. Like, I ain't trying to get that inexperience.
Hey, Manny, you're right. AB had a black head coach at Pittsburgh and still was a cancer. You are right. You're
right. But the
about
difference is nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Mike Tomlin's dealing with Ben Roethlisberger and crazy AB, and shit, he got a Pouncey brother over there on his team.
Yeah.
A vicious defense. And come on now, bro. Come on. Mike Tomlin is a hell of a coach to keep so much under wraps, still win Super Bowls, still make the playoffs every year with everything going on. I'm just saying.
Shout out to AJ. He said, how do you guys feel about Glenn Dorsey? He helped build the Chiefs, and he has been able to get a bunch of talent to sign to the Browns. Does he leave that organization, though?
Glenn Dorsey.
Yeah. I like that name. I definitely like that name, Simpson.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? As much as critical as I am of DC, you put DC in Cleveland right now.
Oh.
Bro, they'll probably win the Super Bowl. With that defense, that O-line, bro, in that running game, you know what's that's crazy? That would probably be the perfect team for DC to be. A O-line, a defense, and a run game.
Yep.
Oh, my God. DC would probably win the Super Bowl over there in Cleveland.
Yep.
Facts.
Definitely. Make some simple-ass throws.
Yeah.
Hand the ball off. Let the defense do his thing and just go collect the check.
Go collect the check. I like that, AJ. I'm going to do some homework on that, brother. Definitely. Shout out to Matt. If we involve D Jackson more into our offense and start fast, like against Dallas, we can smack Washington. I'm excited for this upcoming matchup. Let me ask you this. Shout out to Matt. Ray, what do you think? Because, bro, I want to see what D-Jax, Tyron Johnson, and what's the other boy?
We have to bring up Tyron Johnson for Stoner at least. Like, what's the point of having Stoner? I don't know.
A 4.36, bro. Imagine Tyron Johnson and D-Jax on the field at the same time. That speed, with Waller probably going to miss this week, right? If we can let him heal 1 week, bro, you bring in Tyron Johnson. No one can guard that speed.
Yeah.
A 4.36, bro.
Bro was saying Glenn Dorsey. He meant John Dorsey. Yeah, I knew I was like Glenn Dorsey. That's the defensive tackle. I'm like, yo, Glenn Dorsey.
You had me too, but I knew the Dorsey name.
Yeah, I was like the defensive lineman. I'm over here looking like, yo,
John
Dorsey though.
Jeff Badette, Jeff Badette, bro. You brought him up with Tyron Johnson, and bro, you can't match that speed with Zay Jones out there too. You can't match up that speed. Like you can't guard that. You can't guard that.
Yeah, and instead of having D-Jax always being the decoy, send that other boy. Send that other boy to be the decoy.
Yeah.
Keep Deshaun Jackson fresh.
Bro, facts. Scout says the reason he got cut from the LA Chargers was his lack of effort on special teams. Stoner does give a ton of effort on special teams. I've seen that. I have seen that. That's probably the reason.
But I know a lot of Chargers fans that's screaming right now.
Yeah.
Screaming about not having Tyron Johnson.
Because, bro, they're second in the league in drops.
Mm-hmm.
They can't catch the ball.
They kept Guyton and got rid of Tyron Johnson.
Yeah, bro. Tyron Johnson he's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
This can be a potential sneaky, I don't want to say Nelson Aguilar-ish kind of pickup, but it can be someone that can come in and actually be a boy for us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he's actually at practice today. So
he could be what probably what was that boy's name? He was fast. He was on our team. He was always on the practice squad.
Rico Gafford.
Yeah, he could potentially be what Rico Gafford was supposed to be for us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he could have been. Yeah, and Rico Gafford's a Bronco now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so crazy. But yeah, no, I definitely think that he can be that kind of guy. Still Will says, just curious, in both of your opinions, who's the top QB available next year and top in the draft? I know Raid hasn't been looking too much because it's so early on in the season. Yeah. Well, like, you know what I mean? But playing Washington that beat Tampa Bay, how many more are we winning? I'm not going to do how many more we're winning, still will. Not doing it anymore. But I'll tell you this. I know Scout feels different. He has Malik Willis like the fourth, fifth best option. I just like Malik Willis, man. I like the potential. You know what I'm saying? I like the potential. I like the young bull at Louisville too. He's a monster. Pickett, is it Pickett? The boy at Pittsburgh. He's nice. I don't like Sam Howell in North Carolina. I know a lot of guys do. Matt Corral, Ole Miss, I believe. He's a monster. There's some guys. There's definitely some guys that we can look at. If there's any year for DC to be a bridge guy, I think this would be the year to go grab a quarterback. I mean, being honest, but I don't.
No, it would have to be. It would have to be. This is last year in his contract.
Yeah. But I still think that DC somehow, some way gets an extension. That's just how I feel.
I think we'll see. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough. This dude Carson Strong from Nevada.
Carson Strong's nice. The boy from
I think it would be tough. I think it would be tough because of the changeover, man. I think it's a weird situation for Carr, for the whole organization, for us fans, because with Gruden gone, it's like, will the new OC or the new GM want to keep Carr? Will they want to trade him, get their guy, save the money from Carr, right? You save $19 million. Also, you could potentially get 1 to 2 first-round picks for Carr.
Yeah.
At least a first. You're at least getting a first and a third. If Matthew Stafford is going for 2 first.
Minimum. First and third.
So that's what I'm saying. If Matthew Stafford's going for what he did, we gotta fucking get something. Like we gotta get something.
Richie Rich, that would be a spit in DC's face, man. You go get a Fresno State quarterback to sit behind him. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. If he's the best option available, cool. But I think that would be like mean as fuck.
Yeah,
like, that would be fucked up. Bring a Fresno State guy knowing that he's going to take your job. That's terrible.
Is he even doing? Is he better than Carr was at Fresno?
I don't think so. I
think Carr holds most of the records over there, don't he?
I love Derek Carr's game at Fresno State.
Yeah, I mean he had Devontae Adams. That motherfucker was throwing damn
darts. Yeah, Dirty. I get it, bro. I know you love DC. He said there's no QB coming out in the next 2 years that I would want as. But bro, at some point, okay, we're not gonna turn this into a DC conversation. We're not. We're just talking about quarterbacks that could potentially come in and be a bridge. But I just at some point, man, at some point we have to look past stats and we have to look at victories and losses and we have to say what's going on. You know what I mean? And I think at some point we do definitely have to go look at a quarterback. The one thing I don't want to do is do the old school Raiders shit where we go grab a quarterback in the 4th round and try to groom him and he just doesn't become that guy. At some point, you have to say, you know what? Let's go out. We fucked up with Jamarcus Russell. Yes, we did, but we can't keep using that as something that you know what I mean? That didn't stick on the wall. Cool. But at some point, you have to go grab a young quarterback early on. Let me see.
No, I think Watts. I definitely think we at least get a first.
Oh, at least.
There's no way. There's no way we don't get a first. Watts the 2nd round pick for Carr at most. No way, bro.
Why?
No way, bro.
Hey, whatever you smoking down there in Houston, bro, let me know what you on, bro. I'm gonna send a pack to Raid because, bro, a second round.
Hey, he's smoking that Vikings pack. He lining up behind the guard instead of the center like Kirk Cousins. That shit
did you see what the Rams just gave up for Matthew Stafford? And this is his comp. This is who everybody always compares to Derek Carr. Do you see what the Rams just gave up for Matthew Stafford, bro? There's no way you go out and get a 2nd round pick. It just that doesn't. It makes no sense.
Yeah, second round pick. If we trade Carr for a second round pick, just throw the whole fucking franchise away. That'd be that would,
Dumbest shit in the world. At that point,
bro.
I'm keeping DC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like
You
what?
might as well just keep him.
So let me ask. At
What's
the
the
end of
second
the
round
day,
pick gonna do for us?
are you getting rid of Derek Carr to go get a Trayvon Mullen or a Trayvon Merritt? To me, I need something potentially better than that. Like I'm not a second rounder. No, we're not doing that.
No.
Yeah.
Especially if people say Mariota's gonna go for like a third or like a, I don't know. If we could, because if we traded Mariota, could we get for him? If in the past, obviously, trade deadline,
He's a
contracts.
free agent, bro. He's walking anyway.
I'm just saying in the past, like before this offseason, we could have traded him for at least a third, fourth for a team that's desperate. There's no way Carr going for a second.
If
with
Carson,
his contract too? Oh hell no.
If Carson Wentz's injury was that much more severe, I think they would have gave up a third or a fourth for Marcus Mariota because they have a team that they can go all in with. They have a great defense, O-line, running game. I think that they would have gave us a third or a fourth if Wentz was down for the count. But if you can get a third or a fourth for Mariota, you should be able to get at least a first and something else for a three-time.
What did Wentz go for?
Huh?
What did Wentz go for? A second and third?
Was that what it was?
Let me check real quick.
I think it was a second.
What the fuck is it? Carson Wentz trade?
Yeah, was there a first involved? You know what? There wasn't a first because of his contract. His contract was crazy.
Oh,
So you take that into account, bro, because DC is a lot more cheaper. Okay.
Wait, he's only 19 mil, bro. He's like one of the cheapest starting quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. So take that into consideration. Indianapolis gave up a second and a third, I believe.
It was a third round pick in 2021 and a conditional second for 2022.
And that's a contract that's crazy. So imagine what you get for a better quarterback in Derek Carr in a contract damn near cut in half.
That's an easy first, bro. Conditional second. So conditional meaning if he does better than, like if he does so good, then that conditional second could potentially turn into a first.
Yeah, I think so.
So if I'm wrong, someone will state me in the comments, but I think that's what conditional means.
No, I think that's exactly what it means. So look, man, DC's better than him.
No, Carr's getting 19 million.
Yeah, 19 million next year.
Yeah.
So last year on his contract.
That's cheap as hell.
Bro, that's why it's hard to say to move on from DC when you got him for 19 million next year in his last year of his contract. But I still think
Sebastian said Sam Darnold went for a second, fourth, and a sixth. Bro,
Sam Darnold, Watts. Sam Darnold. Second, fourth, and sixth.
A second, fourth, and a sixth. Ain't no damn way we getting no damn second for Carr, bro.
And I know he got hurt, but Cam Newton is now the starting quarterback in Carolina.
Sam Darnold went for a second, fourth, and sixth. Wentz went for a third and second, and Matthew Stafford went for 2 first.
At that point, give me 2 first for DC, man.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, yo, if DC and Matthew Stafford are the same, clumped up in the same category, I at least need a first and like a third.
We the people. I get that one's a former first round pick and the other's a second, but Carr was the
Carr
first.
Outperformed Matthew Stafford in every statistical category when you based off of Carr's rookie season compared to Matthew Stafford, which means he was more experienced at that time. Carr came in the league. He has better stats than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
brother.
But you're saying Sam Darnold was a first round pick. Who cares? Bro, Cleveland Furrow's a first round pick. What the fuck are we talking about?
Does that mean we can go trade Cleve for
a first round pick?
Yeah, you feel me? Like,
our second? Because if we can go get a second for Cleve right now, I'm going all in. And I know the QB position is different than defensive end, you guys. We're just fucking around. But we have to be honest. We have to be logical. Like, let's just, you know what I mean? Like, come on. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna end it with this. I know.
And Carr's younger than Stafford too.
Yeah, definitely.
And cheaper. So you got to get way more for him.
Let's end the live with this, man. Let's get this in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. For those who have not wiped them feet, man, wipe them feet. If you have not subscribed to both channels, man, please hit the subscribe button and go follow our brother Ray the Tape. If you guys want to watch great film breakdown, man, and just intelligence on full display, period, point blank. Go follow my bro Ray the Tape, man. And he has a lot of breakdowns on memberships. If you guys want to become a member of his channel, that's where he does a lot of film breakdown, and he'll actually bring you on to break down film with him.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
So
that. Members
make
only,
sure.
yo.
Yeah,
Come
make
up, watch
sure.
that film.
Go pull up to Ray the Tape, man, and go subscribe and become a member of his channel. You know what? Actually, today I am going to become a member so I can go in there and break some shit down with my brother as well. Real quick, what's the key to beating Washington?
You know, it's hard to say because there's sides to it, man. It's hard to talk about it, bro.
Yeah.
For me personally, like I said, I feel like DC has to play a certain level for us to win any game.
Yep.
But what I want to happen, I want to see us run the ball. I want to see Jacobs with his first 100-yard rushing game, and kind of have that breakout game. Like, all right, I'm getting back into it because I feel like, I don't want to bring up the playoffs, but I feel like as the time goes on, as the weather gets colder, if we have to go to the East Coast and it's cold and we can't run the ball, if we have to play in Cleveland later this year and it's anything like last year,
it's going to be.
Bro, you're not going to be able to throw the football like that. So I think as time goes on, we have to get the run game going. We have to really emphasize the run game. So I really want to see us go emphasize against Washington. Put the ball in Jacobs' hands. Get him those touches. Get Drake worked in there as well. Just really get that 1-2 punch going. We really need to get this run game going. So I really want to see this happen. I think we're coming off of a week to where we're fresh. We should be fresh. The running back should be fresh. Offensive line should be fresh. Confidence, momentum.
Yeah.
And this team, if we do it against any team, it should be Washington. But like we were saying earlier, bro, you could beat the Ravens one week and then lose to a chopped up Bears team the next week, and then go out and beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving in front of 39 million people.
Yeah.
So I'll say the running game, Brett, man. I want to see this running game start to churn, start to get the wheels going, and start getting that momentum in the run game for December. We'll be in December, bro.
Yeah.
We need to start winning games in December. We finished November with the dub. We got to win these games in December.
And we're healthy right now. We potentially have Trayvon Mullen coming back, Nicholas Morrow. We have Falone coming back, which has been a big piece of that defensive line. We have a lot of guys coming back. Lil Sean, I'm stressed because my back, bro. but I'm telling you now, if we go out healthy on a high, there's no reason we should lose this game. But we are the Raiders, and we don't know what we get week in and week out.
I don't know, man. How do you feel about? We haven't talked about it. How do you feel about the damn coin? I think the fact that we beat the Cowboys was just like, it was like, bro, what the hell? This coin, bro. There's no way you say we lose 3 in a row and then go on Thanksgiving, beat the Cowboys, and I don't know, it's weird.
You know what? I talked about it slightly last night on the live. I want it to be wrong because I don't want to slip into the playoffs 10-7. I don't want to beat I don't want to lose to the Chiefs again.
And the Chargers too, right?
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell you make the playoffs losing most of your division? I don't know, but yeah,
I think he says we go on a 3-game win streak. We beat the Colts. We beat the Browns. We beat the Broncos.
Yep.
I'm good with that. I just hope he's wrong with the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Because 10-7 and getting in at the 7th seed is okay, but winning your division is even better. And we can win our division at 11-6 this year. Let's just be honest. It can happen. So if we go beat KC and they lose to a couple of teams they're not supposed to, which this has been happening all year long, if we can beat KC, if the coin is just wrong about that one damn game, we can win our division.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, that's something to talk about. If somebody's not behind the scenes tweaking this shit week in and week out and doing something weird, bro, this is some crazy shit. Because he's gotten everything right. Up to this point.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's just weird, man. It's just weird. After the Thanksgiving one, at first I'm like, I don't know. But if you get this Thanksgiving one right, then I'm kind of a believer at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got in, and it was right. So I was like, shit, bro. I can't do nothing but believe. I can't knock it. I can't knock it.
These last 2 games are the ones that I'm like, if we beat Washington and lose to KC, I'm just like this. You know what? The coin is right.
You don't even got to watch the rest of the season.
At that point, I'm getting ready for Baltimore. At that point, I'm getting ready for Baltimore or whoever's the number 1 seed, or no, we play the number 2 seed because they get a bye week.
Yeah, we'd be the 7th.
Yeah, so we would be ready to play maybe Buffalo or New England.
Look, Can you imagine playing Buffalo in December
with no run game?
with no with no run game?
That would be bad, bro. That would be
Brutal.
bad. That would be bad.
Brutal. Yeah, that would be brutal.
One thing
But
I like
think about it. Any team will play will be on the East Coast. If we had to play the Bengals, if we had to play Baltimore, if we had to play Buffalo, any of those teams on it out there in December, it's gonna be brutal, bro.
But you know what though? As crazy as it sounds, Buffalo can't run the ball either.
Yeah.
So I think Buffalo would be the best matchup for us if we could play Buffalo in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Look, this could probably
The
gonna be
only thing is their defense is pretty stacked.
Yeah. But I think
they're top 5 right now.
I would want to play Buffalo. I think that would be the best game to play would be Buffalo because
hold on, and Josh, I don't know. Josh Allen is born in just his football game is born and raised in the snow. Wyoming, you go to Buffalo. What are the fucking chances? What are the chances? So it's like I don't know. You take and you give if you want to play Buffalo. I'd rather play Baltimore. I feel like I don't know what it is about Baltimore, but Derek Carr loves playing against them.
Yeah.
Our football team in general loves playing against them. I don't know what it is about Baltimore, but we, for some reason, just like to beat the shit out of them. So,
but we're the Raiders, bro. We'll get the 7 seed. We'll play the number 2 seed, and then we'll run for 200 yards. Like that's what happens. Like we're just like we have no run game all year long. We
all
get
of
to
a
the
sudden,
playoffs, and then we run for 200, and then somehow or some way we still lose or something. It's just like, we got the run game going. Now what the hell? And DC threw for 3 TDs and we lost. I just maybe that's the game where the defense just doesn't show up, and then it's like at that point, then you're like, what do we do now? Like DC did what he was supposed to do. The defense didn't do what they were supposed to do. Ran the ball good. I don't know. Real quick, Black Sunday says, is there any real talk about going after D. Adams? Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of talk this past offseason.
Subliminals.
Subliminals. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers putting up the last dance picture with MJ and Scottie Pippen, basically saying this is the last dance. You know, they're playing together. It sounds like Devontae's about to walk next year. I don't think he wants Jordan Love as his quarterback, point blank period. And I understand that. You're the best wide receiver in the league. Why would you want to have Jordan Love throwing you the ball? Devontae and Derek Carr, we can keep beating the dead horse over and over. They're best friends. I think Devontae Adams was like his best man in his wedding or some shit. I mean, at the end of the day, and Devontae Adams grew up a Raider fan, you guys. He grew up in East Palo Alto. For those who are not from California, that is in the Bay Area, not too long, not far from Oakland. I mean, if you guys watch Devontae Adams, he stays posting up Mozzie's music. He does a lot of shit. Like, he is a Northern California guy through and through.
Goes back to Cali during the offseason, trains with Derek Carr in the Bay Area, in Bakersfield, probably in Bakersfield, probably in Fresno, probably in somewhere in the Bay. So
and I know DC still has his house in Emeryville. So I mean, look, these guys, they're best friends. So it makes sense for Devontae Adams to pull up on us at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Man. Hey, real quick, man. I appreciate you, brother. I want to say this on the way out. All of us, you guys, Raider content creators, we may not agree on a lot of things. We may get passionate. We may argue with each other. We may say some dumb shit like me, where, you know, sometimes it can go over the top and be too much. I want all my guys, the Raider content creators, like I said, we don't agree on everything. And that's good, because if we all did, this shit would be boring. I want to apologize to anybody that I may have said anything that came off as disrespect. Shout out to my brother Ray. Me and him talked on the phone the other day for shit. It felt like 2 hours. We you know, I put my personal differences to the side. He understood where I was coming from. I understood where he was coming from. But I have to apologize because I'm very passionate. We all are in our own ways. And sometimes mine may come off as disrespect. So if anybody ever took anything that I said as disrespect, I have to apologize. This goes out to anybody. This goes out to Ray. This goes out to Sanjeet, even Honcho. It goes out to anybody. I don't want anyone feeling like I'm disrespecting anyone. We all love this team, man. We all just want to win. And at the end of the day, man, I may not be talking to some people behind the scenes. Who cares? At the end of the day, I want them all to win, point blank, period. Especially my guys that got kids, that have a family, because that's what this shit is about, right? So for anybody that keeps hitting me up saying, hey, are you talking to so-and-so? I may not be, but guess what? I'm rooting for them. Point blank, period. One thing I like that Ray said to me was, I said, I may be rooting for you from you for afar. And he said, why you got to root for me from afar? That was the realest shit, bro, that I seen. Like, I was like, damn. And I was like, call me. At that point, like, Call me, bro. Let's talk. And we
Yeah.
definitely talk because I was the one emotional about everything. And you know, Ray just was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, the fuck you mean root for me from afar? That's the realest shit that I had to hear because that let me know I was being an emotional lesbian about the situation. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
all
I'm like,
good.
why would I have to root for my brother from afar? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, shout out to Raid. My guy never gets lost in the sauce. He never loses his cool. Probably the most just stand-up cool guy that just keeps it 100 with everybody.
Appreciate it, brother.
And I respect you for that, my brother. And thank you for that talk that we had. Like I said,
You already know.
I'm passionate. I may get over the top with a lot of shit, but I just want you to know I respect you, my brother.
Yeah.
Not only as a man and as a father, but as for what you do for within the nation.
Appreciate it.
And everybody else. I respect everyone else, period, point blank. If you guys don't see me live with someone, it does not mean I don't like them. It just means that maybe we have a difference of opinion and we're not ready to talk yet. So understand this. There may be a show that I may just pop up with some guys and you were like, oh shit, I never thought that would happen. Happening again soon, or it may come down later on down the line. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we're men, we go about shit the wrong way. We're all, bro, we're all human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Most
yeah,
definitely.
I do be acting up sometimes, Sam. This is facts. This is facts. But that's what makes me who I am. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Most definitely.
But as a man, I can admit my faults and I can admit when I'm wrong and when I'm right. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, shout out to my dog Wade, bro. Like for real.
We had a good convo, man. It was definitely appreciative convo. Very well. Very, very, very well. Went very well. So I'm glad we had it. And we could really see where our minds be sometimes. You know what I mean? Because that's really all people need to understand is perspective.
Yeah.
People's perspective might be different, and then once you understand someone else's perspective, then it's like, oh, it clicks. Like, oh, okay, I understand where you seen it, and then really it's understanding at that point. Then you get that understanding because a lot of times people will get frustrated with things they don't understand.
Yeah,
and you get that understanding from one another, and then it's 100 from there. So,
and I say this, man,
combo.
On the way out, everybody, you can spam it because I know you guys are trying to divide. Well, the trolls try to divide us. Honcho, I love you, brother. I want you to win. I know we'll have a conversation at some point. It was on me. You know, I mean, I had a little, you know, I dropped the ball in a certain situation. I just felt like, you know, my guy, you know, we got to stand 10 toes with each other sometimes, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have that conversation with my brother, but I want you guys to understand, you guys cannot come in the conversation and try to pit people against each other. I seen somebody yesterday putting F Honcho and I kept blocking him because I don't like that. We don't do that over here. You're not going to disrespect somebody just because I'm having a difference of opinion with someone. You know what I mean? So go ahead and screen record that. You know what I mean? Go ahead and spam that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, it's always love. There's no beef amongst anybody. This is YouTube. You know, this isn't beef. Beef is when you got somebody pulling up ready to shoot up your house. That's beef.
Yeah, for sure.
That's beef. This is just a difference of opinion. You know what I mean? Some of us not being able to take certain people's opinion with shit. And sometimes it is what it is. And then sometimes you get alcohol involved. You get certain things involved. You get a losing team involved. That's the biggest.
That'll put your ass over the top.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You lose 3 games in a row and it's like, fuck everybody. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, I love everybody. I appreciate everybody. I miss our NorCal coalition shows. I want to bring those back. Me, Raid, Andy, Icy, Wi-Fi, and my brother X. I want to do those soon as well. But yeah, man, and potentially you guys can see a Wipe Them Feet and Get the Strap show. There's going to be a conversation at some point had. We both have not manned up and reached out to each other. You know what I mean? But it will happen. You know what I'm saying? At some point it will happen. And even if it doesn't, just know behind the scenes, even if there's a conversation had, we're cool. We're cool. It's not no real beef. You don't see somebody at a game and I need my fade. It's not nowhere near that. It's nowhere near that. This is just YouTube, you guys. We're passionate individuals. We love this team so much. And sometimes it's just like, especially with me, like I can man up and say, bro, I be emotional as hell about this team. I be an emotional wreck. Why do you think I have mental health Mondays?
We can only imagine everybody in the chat, how they are, you know what I mean? And if they were in front of the screen talking to hundreds of thousands of people. So
it's difficult because we're living our lives in front
of. It gets to people. Some content creators even stopped. Some guys in the past even stopped because it gets to people. So
Yeah, quit in general. Yeah, so everybody's not built for it, and sometimes I prove to not be built for it because I allow my emotions to get in the way of things. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, I wanted to end the show on a high note, you guys.
Yeah.
It is not beef. It's just we're emotional about this team. Some people feel different ways about it. We feel, I may feel this way. Ray may feel this way. Honcho may feel this way. Andy may feel this way. At the end of the day, all of us are under the shield. We love this team so much. And with that being said, I'm going to love you guys regardless because of it, because we're all Raiders. In point blank period, we're family, whether we like it or not. So point blank period. Raid, my brother, I love you. I'm looking forward to doing another show at some point.
Yeah.
Hey, whenever you have a show, if you can, man, shoot me the link. I want to pull up. I haven't had a road game in a minute. I want to chop it up with you, man. But with that being said, you guys, I will be live later on. I'm going to be doing a live stream, brother, for the Washington football team in Seattle game because I'm going to do me some little scouting report. I'm going to watch this team and see what they got going on. So I'm going to bring some fans on. We're going to shoot the shit, watch the game together. And then I have a mental health show tonight. So just let me know if you have some free time, if you want to pull up. But Raid is just like me. Family, kids, tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, right here, you guys. Raid the Tapes YouTube right here on the way out. Subscribe to my brother's channel.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes. With that being said, man, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Wipe their feet on the way out. Ray, my brother, appreciate you for pulling up, King.
Appreciate it, brother. I'll get with you, man. You already know how it is. All right, man.
Sir. All right, one.